Hi everyone, this is Andrea from the Leaf Heart Path. I am an intuitive healer, Reiki and cord cutting practitioner, and a tarot reader. If you are interested in booking a personal reading for any of these services, you can find information in the description box below the video. I am super excited about today's reading. We are doing a year ahead spread in honor of 2022. Just a heads up that you're going to want to give yourself some time to digest this one. The readings are a bit longer this week as we are looking at the energies contained within the entire year of 2022. In front of us, you can see 4 piles. Take a moment, center yourself, take a deep breath, and cast your gaze over the groups here. Each pile is topped by a crystal for those of you who like picking with our shiny friends. Pile 1 is Aragonite. Pile 2 has purple Anhydrite. Pile 3, Labradorite. And pile 4 is Celestite. You can pause the video if you need a few more moments to select your pile. You can find timestamps or chapters below the video, and I will see you over there shortly. Bye. Hi, pile 1. If you picked the Aragonite and the Ostara tarot, then this is your reading for 2022. We have 12 tarot cards that we're going to be taking a look at, one for the energy of each month in the upcoming year, as well as some oracle cards that we're going to be looking at the end as well. Now, keep in mind that this is the overall energy of 2022, and energy reading is always going to be very flexible and very fluid. So therefore, we may say a month is a particular target date. For example, this card means February, or this kind of thing is going to be going on in February, but the energies could be flowing within several weeks of each other, bleeding over into the next month, or possibly even the month after that. And we have to keep in mind that there is free will and other choices and things like that. So keep an open mind as we're going over this. It's really about when you select the piles, which pile has the strongest energy and what is resonating the most with where you are currently sitting. So technically this could be a timeless reading as well, because it is all about your current energy and the trajectory of that energy. All right, group 1, let's get into your cards. So our first card for January of 2022 is Death. February, we have the 7 of Pentacles. March, the Queen of Swords. April, 4 of Wands. May, the Empress. And month 6, June, we have the Chariot. So we have quite a bit of major arcana cards already, group 1. July, oh wow, the World. August, the 9 of Swords. September, the Knight of Pentacles. October is the King of Cups. November, the Page of Cups. And finally, next December, the 10 of Cups. A lot of cup energy flowing in at the end there. Okay, very nice. So, group 1, let's start with January. And the energy of January 2022 is going to be one of transformation, which is what this card usually typifies. Some people, when they see that Death card, they get nervous, but that's not always what it's about. So this can be about you just accepting an invitation to transform. It might be about you setting resolutions, making some big changes in your life, future forecasting for you in whatever area of your life that you're currently focusing the most attention on. Okay. This is what is going to be growing for you across the course of the year. I do feel that the transformation is a blessing. This is not unexpected, not a tower moment. This is something I feel that you have been working on already for some of you. I am getting a very fiery energy behind this, almost like the wands, the suit of wands. It's very Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius to me. So for a lot of you, or a good portion of you, this could be involving career, where you're really emphasizing things. And if you're watching this during the time of the sun in Capricorn, then this really is the perfect time to be working on those goals, those manifestations, so that you can reach your desired outcome, whatever that may be for you. Now, death is a Scorpionic card. And this does feel like this particular change is having that type of emotional attachment that we might associate with Scorpio energy. But I'm still getting that the change is probably more to do with a passion project or with career or something to do with your hobbies, something in that line of thinking. So regardless, my point is that this is an important goal for you, and this is something that you have been working on. It does feel like this is going to be a big kind of glow up for many of you. This isn't something that you are just suddenly starting to do. This doesn't really have, that tower energy that we associate with that major arcana card, the Tower, where things are unexpected. This is just a welcome initiation. That's actually the perfect word, I think, to describe that, is an initiation. You are crossing the threshold into acceptance and change for something that you have desired for a long time. So because this is a general reading, that could be a lot of things for a lot of different people. Let's move on and check out February right here. So February is, I got a little close there. February has to do with continuing to put that work in with our Seven of Pentacles here. And this really does make me feel that this has to do with career or achievements of some kind, job opportunities, something really to help you feather your nest, group one. Yeah, we can see the raccoons here. And they're just happy little family and their happy little home, and they've got all their pentacles around them, all their coins. Yeah, they have what they need around them, but there is a knowledge here that we still need to save up for the future. We have a lot of little growing people right here. So there is still this idea that we have things that we have to do for the future. We have to save for the future. There is still work to be done. So I do see you at this point continuing to have the steady energy that is presented here with Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo signs, our earth friends, represented by the pentacles. So this is just very steady, slow energy, and it does feel like a natural progression of what's happening over here. So from this death card, from this transformation, is a slow growth and change. For some of you watching, this might literally be about shaking things up to better save for your future and family. You may also want to expand your family, some of you. And that might be why you are having this change or this shift back here in January, for example, just to better prepare for the future. And again, this is that slower moving energy. This is a continuing trajectory for you. It is going to be going on for a longer period of time than some other changes might be. So a few months, a year, a few years. There's a difference. Now, however, I am getting the number 4 as I'm saying that. So if that's in reference to what's coming down the road here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th month is April. We also have the 4 of Wands right here. And that means like stable foundation, family. The number 4 might mean something significant to you, four corners, our walls, building our home, establishment. And so for some of you, we could be just talking about this period, the 4th month, or it could be a little bit longer than that. All right, so let's take a look at March here. We have got the Queen of Swords in this. It might be a little bit of a respite for you. There may be a little bit of a vacation on the horizon for some of you with this energy. Notice the water in the background. She's looking pretty chill right here. There's just a calmness and a clarity to this month. I do see this card as a mentor that's possibly coming in for you, an older or wiser figure to provide guidance or some kind of learning or support. For those of you who are expecting, as we've been talking about family, this could be a mom coming in, your mom, a mother-in-law, another mother just in the neighborhood, grandma, someone coming in to help prepare a nursery. For some of you, it could be a doula. For others, this might be somebody in the workplace environment who provides mentorship or guidance, regardless of, take the baby situation out of it. So this is a mentor for people in general. I do feel this person is somewhat known for some of you. For a portion of this group, I don't feel that you have a strong connection to this individual, however. It's like you know them on paper or you know them through another person. So again, this card has this element of stillness or balance to it. This is you slowing down after a few months of steady working. It could be about bringing in an energy that is much needed and lacking because you may sort of be burning the midnight oil here. We can get a little bit that way if we're getting overburdened with our sword energy. And so there's this clarity and calm that's just coming in here. If this is an outside person, they can help you make decisions and relieve some of the mental stress that you might be experiencing. They may be showing you, even if it's not a typical leadership role, how to meditate or how to better balance things that are going on. And I do see this as a period of stress relief for you, group 1, of learning for some of you. There's this feeling of concentration and focus, but it doesn't feel frenetic as sword energy can sometimes be. It's very focused, and it's definitely not in the same heaviness as last month. And I don't want to say this is like a pendulous heaviness. It's just this has got more weight to it. So this person may be sticking around for a while in the upcoming months. Sometimes they will be a little closer to you than at other times, depending on what's going on. If this is a mentor, you may be working with them off and on throughout the upcoming months. But I don't see them completely vanishing over the duration of the upcoming year. And notice how their back is away from what's happened in the past, and they are facing forward toward the future. So that does give me the feeling that there's some pretty happy and fast-moving energies that are coming up for you in the next quarter of the year, right in here. If you feel you need to take a rest at some point this year, group 1, make sure you're doing so because you definitely have some fun times coming up here pretty quickly. So let's get into this magical number 4 month, the month of April. The 4 of Wands. I just love this card. So we have a happy little rabbit family. We've got our carrots. We've got little banners flying. This is a joyful card, a card of celebration, get-togethers. So I am really thinking this is going to be a pretty amazing month for you, group 1. You may get some good news from friends or family, some of you, or perhaps you have some good news to be sharing with other people. Again, keep in mind that the energy is very flexible. So sometime in the spring-ish, there may be some good news coming your way, or you may be sharing some good news. For some of you, this may be a birth or an adoption of a child. It may be news that others around you are expanding their families, as the 4 of Wands can indicate that sometimes. This could be through wedding, all right? It doesn't have to be literal birth. The start of a wedding season. This can be family get-togethers, barbecues, picnics, parties, just a month of celebration. So again, being that this is the 4th month and we have the number 4, I am very drawn to this idea of, I am really tripping over my words, of stable and strong foundations, firm foundations going forward. And this could be kind of referring back to February, that feathering your nest that was kind of happening here, planning for the future. And I think things for you probably are starting to pay off a little bit. Maybe you literally are paying off things in your home, a mortgage, finishing car payments, doing some remodeling in your house. But I am seeing some traditional family get-togethers as well. And this could include a baptism for some of you. Maybe it's because I said baptism and I jumped there. I was thinking Hierophant, but my brain is showing me the Justice card. So I am seeing legal contracts being wrapped up for some of you. Some of you may be signing off on some papers or some important things which will give everyone a reason to celebrate. So you might be somebody who is wrapping up paperwork in this month as well. For folks in the Northern Hemisphere, this could just be about the weather turning warm as well. We'll be able to spend a little more time outside, breathe in that fresh air. This can be about just taking that breath after all this hard work and transformation that's been happening here in the first few months, and then focus our concentration and learning here with that Queen of Swords. So this is, our time to take a breath and have some fun, celebrate, revel in any accomplishments or achievements that you have created as a team, wherever that team is, and enjoy yourself and share the good news that you have with other people. Allow them to be part of that celebration with you. Yeah, I'm getting that this is going to be a very fun period of time for you, group 1. Very cool. All right, so let's take a look at the Empress here. There she is. So we have another major arcana card. The first one was Death in January. This to me feels like your energy here. This is interesting. At a glance, I'm actually going back over here to the Death card and then quickly looking at this. It's almost like this is the scattered parts and pieces, and then suddenly we've come together. So it's like things breaking down, breaking apart, transformation, and then we're growing a new and improved version, creating a new and improved version. I didn't notice that before. That's interesting. So in May, I feel like the spotlight is solely fixed on you. We had this sort of inwardly focused energy and goal setting and work in the first few months. The celebration then that involves a lot of people. That celebratory light from the Four of Wands is coming through here, but it's also mixed in with the focus and concentration from the Queen of Swords. But all eyes are on you at this point and not outwardly focused. So this is you getting very serious about something, group 1. Not that you weren't serious before over here. I think we can see based on that you are focused when you need to be. But this could be getting recognition for what you've been working on in your job. You could be getting attention for a hobby. This is just the energy of somebody who has people celebrating them for what they've done. So here we're celebrating everybody, just having fun, whatever that means to you. Here, though, this is about celebrating you. This might be the energy from the earlier part of the year coming back into play. And for some of you, this is definitely going to be career related. For others, this could be going back to families changing, such as babies being born, marriage happening. And this is you you sitting happily in that new role. Notice the light on the flower right here. There's fertility, there's abundance here. This is you getting your glow up, as I mentioned over here earlier. It is a major point for you, or something that you have been waiting for a while, because this is a major arcana card. Some of you may actually be getting some recognition in the public eye as well. It may not just be family members or friends or colleagues that are noticing you, group 1. But this could quite possibly indicate public attention for some kind of venture. This almost looks like spotlights to me. It could be social media attention. Your account's blowing up. People may be seeking you out more or begin to see you as an authority figure in this role that you were starting to step into. The thing is, whatever you're doing, group one, you are making it look so easy. You are a natural, even if it doesn't feel like that to you. Other people are still going to see you that way. It's as though you were born to do whatever it is that you are doing. People will probably be saying these kinds of things to you or to your face. So to you, about you, and have no problem coming up to you just in their admiration, sharing that. For some of you, you might actually have a little money heading your way as a result of this, and I do feel like this is going to be a steady thing in some cases. So there may be a raise for some of you. For others, maybe there's a gift that's coming in. I will say I don't see you stepping out of this group one or stepping back from it. This is just like steady working. Again, that transformation, and boom, here's you. I don't want to say the new you, but it's a newer version of you. This is focused attention, not just on you, but you taking that focus and continuing to apply it to whatever it is that you're doing. You are, in essence, establishing your roots. Everything here is blooming with potential. Let me notice the bulb she's holding. There are so many things that are waiting to be born from your touch. This is the energy of everything you do, absolutely rife with possibility, just magic. This is a true magic touch. And I think there will be so many things that bloom under your touch from this point forward. There is this reminder to spend some time outside here with your feet on the dirt or in the sand, if at all possible. Keep your energy channels clear, keep them clean. This will also help to ground out any excess energy that you are feeling. If you're feeling a little frantic or a little hyper this month, just that'll help you ground. You probably won't need coffee, just saying. So group one, June also has a very strong forward momentum with the Chariot. Another major arcana card. You seem to be getting a lot of those, group one. Okay. So let's talk Chariot. Forward momentum, fast energy, a balance in duality, mastery. Yeah. So as you got your roots here, this is you now coming with this forward momentum this way. I think you've been building up to this point, and in June, well, think of this as the spring in May, and it's, pushing down, and then in June, we have this release, right? The energy, the forward momentum, and the question is, where is it going to be taking you? I am getting a very similar intense energy to the way that you were buckling down in February with the Seven of Pentacles. This is also work, but this is so much faster, group one. You are taking this energy that is built up and you will be releasing it into the rest of the year. It's finding a way to sustain this trajectory to move you further along the path that you've been heading so that you're not tired out. Yeah, and we look at this. Look, we have 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards in a row, coming into the next month. So I think this is one of those ideas where we have something that's a little fixed, something that is going to happen. If it's not happening in this time frame, maybe it's down the road, or maybe it's even a little sooner. No matter what, this was marked, it's profound, it's part of your path. And so for many of you, I do feel this is, again, going to be doing with you as a person, your gifts, your talents. It could be related to hobbies or career also. And I'm sure there are many other things I'm not thinking of. For some of you, this might be about that new role you've stepped into and things moving at a certain pace that you initially are feeling hesitant about and might be a bit nervous. Time moving a little too fast for some of you, but this is something I think that you will easily be getting a rein on. You'll be getting a handle on it. So for those of you that are going to be new parents, for example, at this juncture, we talked about that here. May was sort of the time where we had a little bit of glow up happening here. You're stepping into that new role with the Empress card. But now we're maybe adding in going back to work or having to blend old roles with your new roles. And that adjustment period that we had maybe here for a little bit is over. It's a little like, oh, gosh, things are going crazy. But I'm seeing this connection back to the stillness card here that we had with the Queen of Swords. And it's a reminder to tap into your intuition. Tap into what you've learned, what you know, find your calm and centered space. You are going to be just fine. Some of you might be going on a trip here. I keep seeing a Mustang, like a bright red one. So some of you may be getting a new car also. It could be very literal. There may be a road trip with your partner, with a good friend. So I'd be really curious if you're one of those people who ends up with a new car, if you talk about that in the comment box below, because that was very specific. Something that's getting me here too is just notice how both of these are looking directly out at you, and as opposed to looking this way or looking down, you know, looking at somewhere else. There's this intense gaze with the two major arcana cards right here. And so I do think that your intuition may be getting a boost this month, group one. There seems to be just an awareness with the two of these here. Well, we really can't see his eyes, or her eyes, their eyes. But we have the moon symbol there, and look at the crown all lit up. We have that same kind of glow happening here. So this is seeing beyond their little flat 2D world right here, knowing that there's more out there. So this may be a time where you really start to balance your intuition and your logic and tap into that to get you further along your path. It feels like this is right where you're meant to be. You're headed on the right track, group one. You know, that the word that's coming to me is the word trust. Trust. This is part of your journey. The Chariot really is the springboard into July, where we have the World. So let's take a look at that a little more closely. Here we are. So we can kind of see when we get the World card, it really does embody all elements of the zodiac. We've got a sign from each one. And then we've got the World card in space. I really like how that one's depicted. A little bit different than some of the other cards. So this could signify travel. So you may be going on some kind of trip between June or July for some of you, as we mentioned before, getting that traveling or car energy here. But I also see you as kind of flying this chariot out here around the world, up in the stars. Yeah, some of you may, when we're talking about this globe, some of you might actually be making it kind of big. You might actually have some fame or be well known for whatever it is that you're doing, you know, within a particular area. Maybe some of you are bloggers and your blog's getting noticed, or you invent something. Maybe your art is just something that becomes crazy popular and it's suddenly getting a lot of attention. Things that you might have been working back here on in February are suddenly getting attention on a huge level. And for some of you, this may be a time where you're noticing things on a bigger picture scale. You may be paying more attention to global affairs, to politics, current affairs in various parts of the world. You may be able to use some of the things you've learned, your time, your energy, or other assets like money, where needed. You may be learning a lot about other cultures, and I see you as a bit of a healer or a peacemaker for some of you. And for those of you who work on a smaller scale, you're hailing from a smaller town, things might just be getting a little bit bigger for you, in whatever capacity that might mean. So you may be forming new alliances, meeting new people, new friendships. There may be a cause that you are coming together for in order to help heal something. And no matter who you are, group one, or what you do, there is just this energy that you are able to use your brains, some resources, to further some kind of cause or create an alliance that's going to help other people or to help heal something. There is just more of an awareness of others in this month. There is this outer focus with the momentum build up here from June. And this really is a wonderful time to push from an inner orientation to an outer orientation. Shine your light on other people. Be giving and loving and sharing to your fellow man, and it will come back to you tenfold. Some of you may be connecting to others in a bigger sense, communication. Perhaps this is your words, your art, a phone call, writing, speaking, just being seen, yet being part of a whole. An understanding dawns on some of you how truly interconnected we all are. And this includes the animal kingdom and the plants for some of you. This is a great month for outreach, learning about a cause, listening to others and supporting them. This is, I know, kind of random. I feel like I keep going back and forth and jumping around here, but that's the way it's coming in. Mother Nature is really coming through loud and strong here. Herbalism for some of you. Seeing ecosystems and how each and every part is essential and valuable, and recognizing that around you. You may be somebody who's dedicated to helping the planet, her animals, stepping into a role as an environmentalist. You may be spending more time outdoors, getting in some exercise and some of that good grounding we talked about here. And so this card is a signal that you've hit a maximum speed, and it's the ending of a cycle, and a new one is going to be beginning. And I do feel that over these last 3 months, you really have been leveling up here. And that, again, is not going to be going away. And whatever capacity that is for you, you are different, you've grown, and that is not going to change. You will bring your new skills and understanding to the next part of your journey. So you can use this time to plan out what happens next, group one. Sorry about that. My battery just ran out, and I ran out of storage space on my camera. So if things look or sound a little bit different, that is why. So I'm going to hop right back into where we left off. We had been talking about the energies in, I believe, July with the world, and we were starting to talk about August with the 9 of Swords. And so, whoop, it got a little close there. This is where things are getting a little bit spicy, a little bit hot here in the month of August. So group one, this is corny, but I hear the phrase, with great power comes great responsibility. So at this juncture, you have leveled up, and we're sitting in this kind of energy. So you have some new decisions that you have to make, bigger decisions. If this is a new job position, it means the decisions that inevitably would come with it, or with anything. Things won't always be easy as you are making your way down this path. Your days are going to be buzzing with activity here. And it seems like everybody at this juncture is coming to you for advice, or with a problem they want you to solve, a question, a complaint. And this is part of coming off of this kind of energy that we talked about, that chariot flying around in the stars here, something that is just much, much bigger for you. And rolling with it, taking that energy forward, moving through the rest of 2022. You are seen. Your light is shining pretty brightly. Your energy is quite palpable. People want to be close to you. They want you to help them solve a problem, or just for you to shine a little bit of your light on them. And I think of, because of where you are, and your momentum, you continue to push through, giving 110% of yourself to every situation. And perhaps after some long days, you decide to invest in a little bit of help. And this may be an outside person, someone with some resources to help you solve your problem, so that you can avoid one more thing either being pushed your way, or just feeling like maybe you're being a little stretched thin. I'm not getting that that's a huge kind of thing. I do feel you can juggle everything that's coming your way, but it's nice to have help. It really is. And so September's card features the Knight of Pentacles here. And that, friends, is your knight who is coming in. So they may be a little bit slow getting to you or getting settled in. There may be some paperwork. There may be supply chain issues that would hold them up for some reason. I think just a lot of demand, and probably not a lot of ability or capability to move around just yet due to outside circumstances. I see them as almost sludging and trudging through the snow here. Yeah, it has a lot to do with their setting, where they're coming from. It doesn't look so much different, and we're moving uphill. I do think once they get settled into a routine with you, they are going to be a huge blessing to whatever the situation or issue is. They are absolutely on their way, and this is going to be a good thing. So for some of you, just for example, let's go back to some of the stuff we talked about before. It could be a sitter or a nanny to help around the house. It could be a doctor or a nurse to help you with a family member. It may be an assistant of some kind, of subordinate, a therapist for some of you. It is completely dependent upon your situation and who is doing the watching. This is somebody who will come in with an offer to you for whatever it is that you need, group 1. Although I should note, I do feel for most of you, this is about you coming forward and initiating the contact. In some cases, it may be a little bit of a serendipitous meeting, or, you're just kind of sniffing around, nosing around a little bit. It may take a little bit of time for them to get to you while you're putting out fires and managing the situation. But when they do reach you, slow and steady wins the race. You are transformed into the energy of next month, which is October, and that is the King of Cups. I apologize if you can hear the sirens out there. King of Cups. Okay, so I think, here we had this constant grinding in February. I described it as kind of like low-hanging, saggy, pendulous, kind of hefty weight in a sense. And then, we've got that, and we're kind of carrying things through. We are learning to balance things. Then we've got this fast momentum moving forward. We're taking things to a bigger scale. August, it's getting kind of hot. We're putting out fires here in August and September. And suddenly with this person's help, you can occupy the space that you are meant to be. And this just feels so intimate right here and so reflective. So you're calm here, you're rational, you are in the space you are meant to be in. You can make choices from a position of thoughtful awareness and balance between the heart and the head. I mean, look at all the candles we have here. That is a lot of heaviness, but you're managing just fine. In fact, I think it's fair to say at this juncture that you are enlightened. You've got your glow on. People recognize this in you, and you are occupying that role beautifully. I do see this as you occupying a higher space here. So for some of you, this whole journey might be about starting your own business or getting a raise or having some kind of new position. You also have time in your life again. This is a space from which you can breathe comfortably. Anything that was weighing you down, your concerns, your worries about your situation have just dropped into the rearview mirror. You can start picking up things in life that you maybe had to step away from for a little bit. You may be making plans with friends again or spending time with your family, which brings me to November's energy, which is where we have this playful Page of Cups. I really like this card a lot. You wouldn't even maybe notice that it's Page of Cups except for those teeny tiny cups that are up there. Shadow puppets. We're entertaining some foxes. So, there's this new side of you popping out here. And it is just brimming over with this kind of quiet enthusiasm. I'm even speaking in a little more hushed kind of tone. That's what it feels like. Your family definitely notices this, and it impacts them. There's this intimate kind of joy that is happening for you here. And this doesn't need to be family, but it could be, your closest friends. There is definitely face-to-face interaction or some kind of deeper connection that's happening around this time of year. Playful inspiration and intuitive connection is what I'm getting here. Memories being made that will last a lifetime. If you're parents, this is the chance to make some beautiful and unforgettable memories for your young ones. There is a lot of energy of being present in this card, of being together, witnessing moments, holding space for that person. This is you feeling young again, group one. You know, and it really does have a lot to do with this Knight of Pentacles coming back in here in September, because you've got your mojo back. And if you're someone who's a bit older watching this, you'll have the chance to sit back, I think, and just enjoy what all the younger family and friends and folks around you are doing. For some of you, there may be a deepening connection with a long-term partner, a heart bonding, or a recommitment. And I think you start to see each other with a fresh perspective despite your many years together, your time together. So stay in this playful and heartfelt energy and enjoy it, because you have earned it over the course of this year. This is very palpable, group one, and it makes my heart flutter, and I have these goosebumps right now just sitting with this. It's really cool. And our final month here is December of 2022, and this is the 10 of Cups. Such a pretty card. There's the blindfold there. There's all the cups down below. Okay, so, I mean, that's a happy ending right there. So we have our beautiful happy ending. There is security and fulfillment here, stability, the fact that we're blindfolded. We can look into each other's hearts. There's a transparency. We are fulfilled and enjoying things. We have created this beautiful future together. You have created this beautiful future together for yourself. And even if you're not with somebody right now, just for your family down the road. Or just, you know, for whoever's important to you. And this is going all the way back to January with any resolutions or changes that you decide to make back here in 2022. You know, keeping up with the hard work here in February and moving beyond. And this is just really about being at the rainbow's end here. This is harmony. This is joy. This is fulfillment. You being absolutely thrilled, being absolutely happy and content with where you are and what's around you, who's with you. It doesn't always have to be, you know, in this instance, there's showing a partner. It doesn't have to be that. It can, but it can also just be, again, friends, your found family, your created family, your community, and feeling a part of that, feeling a part of something that's bigger, you know, and this could actually tie back into our world card over here. This is just true ownership of you here, just blending everything together. This is a very beautiful ending to a beautiful year, group one. I would love to take a look now at your oracle cards just to kind of round things out and see your last messages here. So what we have here are crystal reading cards and then some mantras from the I Am Power deck. So we have, I believe it's Cuprite, Rites of Passage. Ooh. Okay, that's pretty cool. We're going to stick that right in the middle here. So, Cuprite. The message actually in the guidebook here is really good. So I am literally going to pull this out and read this here, because this just goes so beautifully with what we had for Rites of Passage. Okay. So for people who are interested in chakras, this is typically, Cuprite can be a deep red color, so it can be related to your base and sacral, or sacral, I don't know why I call it sacral, sacral chakras. Crystal medicine. So Cuprite is the feminine aspect of the crystal hematite, a very sacred stone. It holds the medicine and energy of guiding you through the process of transformation and healing on a very deep level. This dynamic crystal invites you to sit with your pain and stop running from your fears. It offers a space of deep healing and allows you to find the strength and courage to deal with life's challenges as you draw deep wisdom from this process. So that's interesting, because we're talking about transformation here. We're talking about the stillness here and having some times where things might get a little trickier and having to work through those. So crystal meaning, this supports exploring the shadow self and healing deep issues. So shadow work might be something that you are actually diving into here in January. For some of you, this could be a death of, parts of your ego, and I don't know, that's kind of harsh words for some things. I always like to think of it as integrating parts of ourselves and accepting parts of ourselves, and that allows this glow up to happen over here. Providing access to ancient and sacred knowledge of the feminine. This supports and holds you as you enter into the void. Ooh, I got shivers there. It supports you to feel like you belong here on earth. Oh my gosh, that groundedness. So, Oracle reading message from the Crystal Diva. So you have attracted this card today as a sign that you are entering into a powerful time of rites of passage, as a deep honoring of the soul and to live a balanced, harmonious existence. It is essential that throughout specific times of life, you are showered with sacred initiations and moments of celebration. So we did talk about celebration here as well. And interesting, they call it initiations. So this is known as rites of passage. Times to receive energetically all the fruits and the gifts of these rites of passage. And let's see here, I think I just skipped a line. All the fruits and gifts of your labor. There we go. Tribes throughout history understood the importance of these rites of passage and facilitated many ceremonies and rituals for these special times. In honoring and recognition of the soul, you receive a deep knowing, respect, and love of self. So these rites are a very important process of the soul's journey and can assist you greatly in your life. In recent times, the importance of rites of passage has been forgotten. However, energetically, you will still experience these sacred rites of passage facilitated by your ancestors in spirit and universal energy itself. Maybe that's some of that global stuff we were getting right here. That's interesting. So the Divas of Gibbard are here to assist you through this process as you transform from your old state of being and awaken into another. Oh my gosh, here we are, moving from this to this, and then grounding that into reality. Very interesting. This is bringing about a deeper understanding and self-awareness. This powerful process can sometimes be challenging as old ways of being are questioned, and you are asked to let go and allow for new awareness to arrive. And as you then integrate this into your life, you may be feeling mixed emotions at present, like fear or confusion, or you could be excited as your soul is open and ready for this powerful new change. How this affects you is unique and different for everyone. That's good too, because this is, general. So rites of passage offer you the gifts of challenges and lessons to help you define who you are in this world, presenting an opportunity to master self-honor and respect, whether you are experiencing a loss of a loved one, an ending, or beginning of a relationship, or entering into a new phase of your life. New phases. Know that this is a sacred and important time, initiation for your soul's journey. Step lightly and stay open as you transform through potent time. That's much better than what I could say about it. So that says a lot, group one. This just really is, the energy of this particular crystal's talking about just giving you the strength to carry you through the year and then any transitions that you are making. Goals that you're setting for yourself. So this might be something you do a little more research on, the mineral Cooperite or crystal, don't know. And I'm not sure if it's actually something affordable or not. Sometimes when I get these cards, I'll purchase something just to see if it is or not. Sometimes they have things that are like wildly expensive and you're like, I can't get that. But sometimes you can get a little piece here and there. Pretty affordably, and you can just keep it nearby. So Cuprite is the name of the stone. All right, and we're going to add in our IMs for the year. So we have get out. Oh my gosh. I am shadow. That is absolutely perfect for what we were just talking about with the Cuprite. That's crazy. So that's awesome. The idea of you undergoing some kind of metamorphosis here, this change. I didn't see it the first time when I was laying all the cards out here, but that death to, the Empress, there's the color and the tone and I don't know, just the look. It's almost the same, just this rebirth and coming together. And so that can be where that shadow and that metamorphosis is coming from. Some of our biggest changes occur when we embrace that shadow side and dive into getting to know those parts of ourselves that are a bit neglected or unloved. And with that embracing comes the shift for you to get into greater alignment. We also have, I am traveling. Remember that? What do you think? Right here? We'll put it down here. Hopefully you can see that. There, okay. Yeah, this is a great nod to your shift and that physical travel we spoke about in June and July. Very nice. So I don't think we need to go too much. We can also talk about this kind of like the spiritual travel that's happening and the metamorphosis and change as well. Perhaps that glow up we're talking about, and then, you know, just grounding your new essence into reality, creating your new reality here. Our last I am. Perfect. Oh my gosh. It's like our chakras. I am aligned. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So this is just the perfect companion here to our 10 of Cups and just overall everything that's happening. You know, how are we getting to the 10 of Cups? Well, we get into alignment with ourselves. We step into our power. We do the work necessary to get there, whatever that work looks like. So group 1, I am going to end your reading here. This definitely got a little on the long side. Let me know one of your resolutions in the comment box below. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and check out my other videos. And be sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss it when new videos are published. Have a wonderful year, group 1. May you be blessed and be a blessing to others. I look forward to collaborating again with you in the future. Bye, group 1. Hi, pile 2. If you picked the purple Anhydrite, then this is your reading. We're going to be working with some oracle cards today for your 2022 energy reading. We're working with the I Am Power deck and the crystal reading cards, as well as the last unicorn tarot. We've got 12 cards we're going to be taking a look at in just a moment. But before I start laying cards down, just a word about this. Because this is the overall energy of 2022, anytime we're doing any kind of predicative reading, we want to remember that we're reading energy, and energy is flexible. Therefore, we may say a month as a particular target date. So say February has 4 of Wands energy. The energies, however, could be flowing within several weeks of each other, bleeding over into the next month, or even possibly the month after that. We really need to remember that free will is the ultimate thing that trumps everything else, and then we are dealing with other people's energy as well. There are some things, however, when we were working on this, that when you were sitting and picking a pile and selecting it, you are actually doing the intuitive work at that moment. So it's about you doing that and engaging with that intuitive exercise to choose the appropriate pile. So it's really about what's resonating with your energy of where you're currently sitting. And if we think about it that way, this actually could be a timeless reading as well, because it's all about your current energy and the trajectory of that energy as well. So you could come back at another point and say you pick this pile, number 2, and you find pile 1 or pile 3 resonate with you a little bit more. So enough of that, let's hop into it. We're going to start looking at our tarot cards now. So we're beginning with January's energy is the Queen of Coins. This is also the Queen of Pentacles. We're going to slide that over because these are a little bit bigger. Let's see if we can get everything in. February is the Three of Cups. March, the Magician. April, Ace of Wands. May, the Lovers. If you haven't seen this deck before, they actually have 2 versions of the Lovers, which I really like. And one's sort of more of the solid love energy, and the other one's a little more superficial and fake. I think I've got 2 cards here. Okay, and then we have the Ace of Coins following that up. So that is June. I've got a little more space here. Okay. July. Queen of Cups. August, the Moon. Sorry, that was a little fast. I just got these, so they're a little bit sticky. September is Justice. October is Strength. November, Ten of Wands. And finally, December is going to be the Four of Swords. Okay. Pile 2. So you are starting with some beautiful energy here in January with the Queen of Coins. And I am seeing this as your energy, not as somebody else who's coming in. You holding court. That's what she kind of looks like here. You are letting people come to you, group 2. I feel like with this card, you are very grounded. You're in your element here. You're looking very comfortable with this energy, and things may be going well on the home front here and within your community, in the area of your friendships. I am getting a big sense of community and collaboration and friendship from this particular card for this month. For some of you, this may be a resolution that you want to spend more time with your friend group, building up friendships, spending time being others oriented, or having more of an outward focus. And I do feel for those of you that are setting this as a resolution or a goal for the year 2022 that it is absolutely within your reach. And for others of you, this is nesting, okay? This is getting ready for the next phase of your home life. You may be preparing for a change that is coming, like a marriage, perhaps in spring or summer for my Northern Hemisphere folks, or in the next couple of months, perhaps. I do see some of you being a little domestic here, cleaning up, getting down, scrubbing floors, clearing the house up, decluttering, sort of like a spring cleaning, but as a way to clean out old energy from 2021, sweep it out the door. Make room for new abundance and make room for prosperity coming in 2022. And this is where we start to get some divergent paths here. I am getting some different energies for some of you. A few of you, this is about your own space and leveling it up. Staying where you are, staying where you're comfortable. You know you have everything you need around you to be happy and content. And for others, you see this. We had that little bit of like side eye over there, not throwing shade at anybody, but just she's looking this way. Some of you may actually have one foot out the door. And that's what I'm getting here. I don't usually get that energy from the Queen of Pentacles, but for you, this might be a new start, transitioning to a new place. 2022 may be you forming some roots somewhere else, laying down roots somewhere else. There's a move that might happen. So for some of you, there may be a job change, some adventure, some travel, and creating a life that you have envisioned for yourself, creating your own abundance, your own happiness. I don't see this as a solo thing though necessarily. While some of you may be single, I do think that if you are, there are at least some deep friendships that are involved. And some of you may be moving to, say, a different city where more of your friends are living, or you are going on adventures with a friend group. And you may have been saving up for this, or you may have had some things happen that have pushed you to the point where you are ready to move on and embrace the adventure of life. So to me, this is definitely a card about mindset, and it's a beautiful place to begin the year from, because no matter your goal, this shows that you are feeling comfortable where you are or where you want to be, and you are ready to move forward with your plans. All right, let's take a look at February energy here. So the Three of Cups is what we're looking at here. All right. I do kind of want to bring these up because this is where we're getting some of that friendship vibe coming from. I talked about having that foot out the door, kind of having an eye somewhere else. And partly too, I think because if you're familiar with this particular story, The Last Unicorn, the unicorn goes off thinking she's the last of her kind and goes to find the other unicorns. And so she is striking out on her epic journey, her hero's quest. So I think that's the other thing that's kind of flavoring the cards and their meaning here for me. So generally, our Three of Cups is about friendship. It's about celebration, having a good time, just being others oriented, celebrating with other people. So again, I do think this is that goal that we kind of have our eye on over here for some of you. So this energy could be starting for you this year, could be starting for you in January and continuing over into February. You may just be really focused right now on connecting with other people and building up those relationships. And again, this could be a resolution or goal for some of you this year. Now, what's interesting to me here is if we look at the setting here where she is, that's her forest and her place, right? The forest looks a little different here. Everything's a little more slender in their profile in the background. And so this actually does talk to me. It speaks to me about relocation for some of you. There might be some day trips going on, a little vacation with some of your buddies, just the travel we talked about. Some of you may be doing a longer road trip with some of your friends, maybe going to a festival. And for others, this could be about family trips. And I'm getting something very oddly specific here. For some of you, this might involve ice fishing at some point in the year. At this point, actually, if you're in the area of the world where that makes sense, if weather permits. So I'm seeing a long-standing tradition for some of you that involves the community or your family. And again, the ice fishing thing, it just keeps coming up for my friends that, possibly live up in northern areas right now, or if you're somebody who's catching this later on. So for others of you, it might be getting together at camps, cabins, whatever you call it, and celebrating a little bit. And for some of you, maybe you're celebrating just a little too much, we're having a little too much fun, and we might not be having a good day the next day. But regardless of where you live, the time of year, what the weather looks like, the climate, this is a universal sign of good times and celebration that we have right here. So that's awesome. If you're currently working, I think you are either taking time off or you're doing weekend celebrating or road trips. Quite possibly you just kind of are able to strike gold with a work-life balance that keeps you feeling fulfilled and happy. And I do feel, group 2, that you are really making things work here. The other thing is, going back to this, going back to that side eye there, that glance, she's actually looking in the direction that I always think of as the future when I'm laying my cards out, reading from left to right. So her eyes looking this way. You may already have a pretty good idea of some big things that are going on for you in the coming months. So this might just be your time to let loose. Yeah, it speaks to me of planning and knowledge going on over here in January. And we say this because if we look at March's energy here, the Magician, this is our first major arcana card. This one's really beautiful. So with that, this is just having everything that you need in front of you to manifest your desires. To me, this is, I get this sense of you buckling down and just really working on things at this juncture. So perhaps that's what this is speaking to. We're looking forward. We know we've got some big things happening down the road. So I'm going to have some time with my friends right here. So while January might have been the planning and getting ready and preparation to step into that celebratory mode for a while in February, this does include that knowledge going forward into March, that we're kind of buckling down here to work on a specific goal that we might have for ourselves. And whatever it is you're working toward, group 2, I think you have the mojo to get this done. You may have a very strong foot in manifesting and goal setting. You might be somebody who works very hard. Whoever you are, I do think you are also a very creative person. We do have all of the suits reflected here, but we've got this strong wand energy right here. And just the fact that this is being created, this is showing magic right here. You're going to get things done, group 2. And it could be that things are flowing so nicely here with that 3 of Cups energy and that balance we talked about, that you are ready to take it to the next level here in March. You might be feeling really good this month. And you decide, you know, that other goal I'm working toward, I'm going to go for it. And it may seem a little big, a little ambitious, or even out there to some folks who know you. But if they really know you, they know that you are going to find a way to make this happen. Just like our magician here. And I'm not even getting this is necessarily involving a ton of planning, quite honestly. I know we talked a little bit about that here, but for some of you, this feels very organic, like you are leaning into something that's very natural for you, group 2. It doesn't feel forced. For some of you, there will obviously be some groundwork and getting your hands dirty as you're creating whatever it is you desire. And I don't mean dirty in the sense that you're doing something wrong. I just mean that dirty in the sense that you're getting down and you're doing the work necessary to get to where you want to be. But for some of you, this is honestly just falling into your lap. This is a goal related to something that is already very natural for you, very easy for you. It may be in regards to a talent that you have or something that you have some experience in, group 2. And you just decided, hey, I'm going for it. So maybe this is something you're already creating and you didn't even realize it yet. You could be that natural. For those of you who did relocate, it could be about setting up your new life, where you live, getting comfortable, creating the life that you envision for yourself, checking out your next steps, looking around, where's the local farmer's market? Where am I going to be, spending my time on the weekends? Just kind of scouting all that stuff out, but it just has this awesome flow to it. I don't know any other word to say it. This is you creating the life that you envision yourself, looking at your next steps, and again, just very, very organic. And so that creativity I was mentioning, I do feel this might be a natural, or you are very close right now just to manifesting naturally. You might be a little more grounded in your reality, just like our pentacles over here, Taurus, Virgo, Cap. If you're grounded, though, it does make you very open to the divine at the same time. And so we have that saying from old alchemy, just as above, so below. In this case, you've got your new roots that you're settling in, and that's allowing you to reach your branches upward and to tap into whatever creative forces are out there. This is you channeling and bringing forth whatever is meant to bloom. And again, it's very easy. It doesn't feel forced. So what's interesting is, group 2, is we have a little more of this going on in April with the Ace of Wands. So we've got the same energy, but it's more focused, as we can see. There's the tip of the unicorn's horn here. That is like a wand. So if you know the story of the last unicorn, you can actively see our main character here. This is Lady Amalthea, as she's transformed from this unicorn we see here into a mortal woman. And the horn is reminding her of who she was. We can even see that she does have that little pink mark on her forehead. And it's reminding her of her goal, which is to find the other unicorns. She needs to go here to this castle. That's what these rings of light are kind of directing her toward. The longer she's in this state, the more she forgets, which is what the problem is for her. So her journey to find her people, is her passion. It's her quest. And because she has taken this step of becoming a mortal woman, becoming an aging being, a being that can die, a being that is forgetting, taking that risk. I mean, it was done to her, but it was part of her quest. She now has these doorways open to her, and they were once closed. Now she is able to go where she needs to go to free the rest of her kind. And it wouldn't happen if she didn't take some kind of risk. So that does show me there is some planning, there is some foresight. You know what you need to do next, but there's just all this awesome mojo that goes behind it as well. So the message I think here for you, group 2, with the Ace of Wands, is this is a message that with focus and devotion, you can achieve the goal that you have your eye on. And here she's using her third eye. We have our eye closed. So we're being intentional. We're going within. And we notice how the horn points back toward March's options here as well. It's a way of signaling that whatever option that you decide on pursuing, group 2, it is within your reach, as long as you've got Lady Amalthea's drive and ambition, which I believe you do. Yeah. Let's take a look at May. So this is our second major arcana card, along with the Magician. This is the Lovers. This card may indicate for some of you there is a relationship on the horizon, for those of you who are manifesting that. The Lovers can also indicate harmony or things moving along in a direction that is helpful or prosperous for you. Say you set a career goal, for example. This can mean that things are going to go smoothly for you in that particular facet of your life. Perhaps you are meeting a partner, a friend, or another person who is going to become an important fixture in your life. So it doesn't have to be just about romance. That's not just what it's about. So if this is involving another person, if there are differences between the two of you, there is still a balance and a cohesiveness that is indicated here. There's a joining of forces. We also know that when we meet someone we deeply care about, it can get a little intense in the initial stages. So this may be a period of time that you're a little less focused on community or family or that outward orientation we had over here in February, and we're instead focused on this particular person or thing that you've been manifesting these last couple of months. And that does make a lot of sense. If you have really been putting in the time to achieve something like here, and it's suddenly there in front of you, you've manifested your desires. And we've all been at that point where you get sucked into something, and when you kind of come up for air, you realize it's been a bit since you've looked around. I always think of this, it's like horses when they have blinders on. And so this can just be a little bit of a reminder to sit back into the balance of January and February energies, you know, between the self and others. Don't forget that there's a world beyond just this really intense moment that's right here. And going beyond that, let's look at June. So here is the Ace of Coins. So June really is an extension of what's happening in May. Your busy, busy May there. There may be an offer, something a little more solidified than last month, all the work and energy that went into that initial connection from the Lover's card is now turning into something that is more substantial, group 2. This is a promise. It's a choice. This is just not coming up for air because we're really focused on something. This is now, okay, look at how much more open we are. This is, I mean, it looks like a heart back there, but everything's close together. Here, we have choices and options. We've got a little bit of space. So you do have an option to move forward with this, whatever this is, this offer or not. It could be a contract, some kind of union, a merger, a partnership, a marriage, an opportunity, you name it. Given the setting on this card, some of you may be relocating for a job opportunity or to be with a partner. Perhaps a honeymoon for some of you. So it could be travel. And whatever the offer is for you, it does indicate stability given the pentacles. This isn't some flash in the pan, empty promise. It is a solid commitment. Whatever it is, it's the chance to begin something new and steady. So it's up to you whether or not you want to move forward with this, group 2. And I'm not getting that there are any strings attached to either. This is legitimate, and we can even see the look on his face. He looks so sincere here. His eyes are closed. He's transparent. He's like, it is what it is. Take it or leave it. And to me, the energy is connected to the Lover's card right before, the Ace of Wands, and also the Magician. There's a lot of purity here, and you've been able to tap into that to create this. This is all connected, and it's all has to do with your manifesting and your hard work. So this is pretty impressive. And if we tune into July, we have the Queen of Cups here. There's Miss Molly looking very content. Got our moons up there. Cat on the lap. Okay. So interesting here too. Look at this. January to July, we've got 2 queens and all this fun stuff that's been sandwiched between them. So we definitely have contentment here. We started with the Queen of Pentacles or coins, which just is a more determined energy to me. And that might be because the month is starting with the Sun in Capricorn, and this is an earth sign. July, by contrast, then, is just more relaxed and content, which is interesting because this period could overlap with the sign of Cancer, which is a water sign, like our cups here. So we have this feeling that your needs are being met, you're at peace, it's very intuitive, it's a loving kind of feeling. Just, you're not totally flitting off into the stratosphere woo-woo, but there's definitely an intuition here. There's a tapping in, there's an understanding. It's practical though, and it's grounded, and it's loving, it's reliable. So what's going on here, this content feeling, can be the result of June's energy and choice that was made. So regardless of whether or not you end up taking up this offer, whatever this is, you are content with where you are right now. It isn't just that you are happy with the outcome of your choice, it's how you made the choice too. It gives you a sense of pride. You handled yourself well, and you did what you considered to be right. Even if there was some disappointment somewhere on either side as a result of that choice, you were graceful about the situation and diplomatic. There isn't a trace of shame here, only good feelings. This is settled in, this is feeling good, this is the energy of somebody who has wisdom and knows the ups and downs in life. They know when to stop and reflect, smell the roses, and enjoy the simple pleasures of life. Yeah, July is very chill. It feels very chill for you, a period of you contemplating and counting your blessings. Again, we have these closed eyes here. After the last 2 months of, we've got the contract coming in here, and working, choices, deciding what you're going to do. You are more inwardly focused and focused on the simple pleasures of life. So think of July as your opportunity to enjoy what's around you, at your fingertips and to use your intuition as guidance for anything that you need. If you find you have some situations that need figuring out in this time frame, the hint here is to tap into your intuition and heart. Not so much your logic as you figure out what you would like to do going forward. So again, we do have these little moons indicating that intuition. And what's interesting here is we jump over into August, our next card, and we have that same moon on here as well. I'll give you a moment to look at this one. Mami Fortuna's Midnight Carnival. Okay. So for some of you, this is going to be a very specific message. And this could be because I'm a former teacher, so I'm tapping into this. You get to August and there's this sense of, oh my gosh, we're going back to school. And so if you're a teacher going back to the classroom in August, this card is a reflection of your fears going back at the end of the month and knowing your summer's coming to an end. You notice here we have these little carnival cages. They look like little trailers that you see sometimes at schools. So keep in mind that the moon card can signify illusions and fears, and that while yes, you may not have that physical freedom to roam once you're back in the workspace, because again, reminder, these are little cages. So much of our minds build up the things to be much more frightening than they actually are in reality. And so this occupation scenario obviously is not going to fit for everyone. The general message still can if we kind of back off from that example. So the appearance of this card could be a fear related to the loss of the Queen of Cups period from July, not being able to maintain this chill and this happiness because there may be real world needs that are beckoning to you. There are things that you have to get done, stuff you have to do, things you've got to move on from. And I am getting for some of you that this July daydreaming energy that we have here and the August energy of the moon are really just two sides of the same coin. So these two energies may actually be existing around the same time. All right, so you might have a period of a couple of months of this. So it sort of feels like, if we think of it that way, a light switch that's being flicked off and on. Anxiety and then contentment. Anxiety, contentment. So there may be a fear of that daydream not being reached or of a loss of some kind. You know, not being able to get to the finish line because there's some obstacles in your way. So if we look at this here, Mami Fortuna's hand here, she's spinning an illusion. She is the conjurer who weaves illusions. In the Tale of the Last Unicorn, she holds our protagonist captive for a period of time, and a harpy as well. And she excels in making people see fantastic beasts who in reality turn out to be ordinary caged animals, except for the harpy and the unicorn. So not only can she influence what other people see, but she's managed to capture two extraordinary beasts and cage them. And she knows they're not going to be there long. She even predicts her own death at the talons of the harpy, and she is correct. Okay, if things look a little different or sound a little different, I apologize. My phone ran out of memory and the battery was wearing down. So we were talking about the moon and illusions and fears, and Mama Fortuna and the way that she predicted her own demise and doom at the talons of the harpy that she had captured. And the appearance of the moon card is, again, just a reminder how the mind can rule us and tend to run with us or have us running into the worst case scenario at times. The mind and imagination are powerful masters, and your guides now want you to know that you can envision happier images like Molly Grew over here with the Queen of Cups energy, instead of choosing to put your focus over here on the more frightening power of the moon. Both women are powerful here, both are intuitive, both rely on imagination if we're thinking this as two sides of the same coin. So why not go for the feeling that you want to feel versus the one that you are afraid of, the one that you want to avoid? So soon enough, September marches over, and we have the Justice card. So this is another major arcana card, chasing on the heels of the moon, also major arcana. This is about balancing the scales, as we can see here, Prince Lear holding those scales. This can refer to your fears here being soothed and things returning to an overall equilibrium for you. Perhaps a decision you may have been concerned about has been reached. A contract may be drafted up, a verdict. This could even reference the Ace of Coins offer back in June, finally becoming something more binding here. So if we look back into that manifesting that's happened on this journey, this could be just the mental concern and excitement going back and forth between them, the happiness, and then finally we're taking care of business. Things are done. We can check that box off. We've gotten through that. So someone may enter your life with an objectivity that helps to right things for you and helps pull you from any mental stuckness that you may be feeling here. This is where truth comes to light, group 2. It isn't found in the gossip or shenanigans of other people, but from transparency. Libra energy here with our scales. It's concerned with giving and taking, and the bottom line is the balance of it all. If you really were sitting in the moon energy of last month, you will know for certain what your outcome will be, at least kind of wrapping up through September. Even though the thought of knowing might bring you more anxiety, you will at least move from not knowing, which can compound it, to acceptance or understanding if it is not in the direction that you wanted things to go. But there is the other side of it. Things could continue in a way that you enjoy. This can also signify that an impartial person coming into your life is going to be there to help you solve a problem, and they are just going to be open-minded about things, look at things with fresh clarity, look at all sides of a situation before making some kind of decision. And the appearance of the Justice card can also be just a little reminder from the universe, group 2, to remain faithful and true in matters of your own life. So if there's some kind of dispute going on at work, with friends, just with anything, whatever it is, be honest and upfront about where things lie. As long as you carry that honesty and integrity with you, this card is a sign that things will be working out in your favor. And because we have these two major arcana cards in a row here, this card may also indicate that you have had an ongoing issue with something in your life for some time. And in September, this will finally be wrapping up for you, which is fantastic. Okay, so this is interesting. If we go into October, we actually have another major arcana card, Strength. When I think of the last unicorn movie, this is sort of summing it up here. When you're a kid, the Red Bull was so scary. And there is the unicorn chasing him out to sea, so she can free her own kind. So October with Strength, this is associated with Leo. Some of you may be Leo. Some of you may have a Leo in your life who features prominently this month. I do see this as the dust settling after Justice last month. Things going back to that balance, that equilibrium. But here's the thing. I do feel like your equilibrium, group 2, is a little bit different than other people's equilibrium. Based off of the energy that's come through the cards this year, this is letting me know you're somebody who's probably used to having a little bit more on your plate, I'm guessing. And I feel you truly embody this idea of strength and compassion mixed into one, which makes you quite formidable and memorable to some people. Truly somebody who can move mountains. And as I'm envisioning this, I actually see you as this is you, the unicorn, herding the Red Bull out to the sea. It does remind me of working with big obstacles, and I think you just probably have a way with your energy or your words and your actions, and it gets the job done in a very calming way, in a very firm way. Something that seems mythical and insurmountable to other people is no big for you. I see somebody brushing off their shoulders as I say that, looking down like, no big deal. So this could be the result of you just leveling up your energy here this year. But it also could be your natural state. I didn't quite pick up on that. I got a lot of the creative magic up here, but this could also just be where you are. This to me is just fire energy with Leo, but it's also this big earth energy at the same time. Fire and earth just mixed into one big ball. You have what it takes to make big changes. And I almost see the Justice card here. Prince Lear looking this way. As a supervisor or boss looking at you as in, you need to go take care of this difficult person or task right now. And I see people standing there while you're just doing it. There was never any doubt that you could. And they're sort of marveling. Just, oh, look at group 2. They're amazing. So you might actually have a way of grounding other people's energy or transmuting it into something where they just start to feel not so shaky and a little more steady. And I do think people have rock solid faith in you, group 2. I almost see other people around you kind of leaking negative or anxious energy out. We do have quite a bit of this little magic-y stuff going on here. And this is kind of you. Here's your unicorn horn, right? And you're like, let me get my horn out. And you just attract that energy. And just with a swirl of your head, the energy wraps around your horn. And it just explodes out into the universe, into something positive and workable. And it sprinkles back down into the earth. So some of you may actually be healers, group 2. We do have, in addition to magic, I mean, there is water reflected here. We've got the cups, more water, more water. So yeah, some of you might be healers. And a good portion of you may be doing this completely unconsciously in your subconscious mind. Well, in your energy field. But I wouldn't be surprised if people do approach you and they just tell you their life stories. In fact, look at this, actually. You're kind of like boxed in here. So I think unconsciously people are attracting ability that you have. There is a feeling like a magnet under your feet on the earth. I can almost feel it myself right now with my feet on the ground. And I think it's with you no matter where you go. It's a lodestone. It pulls other people to you. They can just kind of seek you out. And with the 10 of Wands here, this one's really interesting. Side note. Never seen a 10 of Wands quite like this. Do you see the unicorns behind him in the sea where he's kept them all? The clock up there, it's broken. I do think this can be about other people coming to you for healing or a chat. I don't usually see the 10 of Wands that way at all. Typically, it feels like slogging through hard times. This feels more like you are going to be in a position where you are helping many people out, or you have a lot of folks coming to you and you might be feeling like you're a little stretched thin. This may be related to, for some of you, an organization or a charity, an occupation, or just many areas of your life, juggling a lot of different things at once. It could simply be just one kind of difficult person. This may or may not be the same boss figure that we spoke about here on the Justice card, but it definitely will be for some of you. This could be the same person. There may be an individual you know who is retiring or closing out a career or phase of life. I don't want to try to pigeonhole stuff. I say career a lot, but I'm thinking just in an organization of some kind. Someone you know. And you might be assisting in that transition. And I think they envy your energy. I mean, who doesn't envy younger people's energy? And not in a bitter way, just perhaps a nostalgic way. A way that reminds them of how they perhaps used to be. Now, obviously, that's not going to be applicable to everybody. You may be juggling quite a bit across many different areas of your life, and as a consequence, just don't feel like you have enough time to get everything done that you would like. And while this is a challenging feeling, I'm not getting that this is a totally toxic type of burnout, which I might see sometimes with the Ten of Wands. It's just pushing through. And I think it's because the unicorns are there. There's this wave, this healing wave. There's water again on this card. It's pushing through. Yeah, just be careful about your time. Be careful about your energy. Keep an eye on it. Especially because this clock is broken here. But this does feel like the end of a cycle for you. Again, we're at the number 10. It's a temporary thing. And I think it will end in time for December, which indicates a period of rest. So our final card here, group 2, for the energies of 2022 in your tarot, is the Four of Swords. A well-deserved nap. That's what I would call that. So, yeah, you're hunkering down for a long winter's nap here. You've worked hard, you're settling in, you are reflecting on the year's blessings, and just look at all the friends you have around you, the people that you love, the people you are closest to. You know, we've picked up everyone who matters here on our little journey. This is about you just reflecting on the lives that you've touched this year, the blessings you have all around you, what you've manifested, the beautiful things you've created during 2022, and now you can relax, knowing that you've checked off all your boxes. And I'm looking at you, Virgos and Capricorns, and you have just made some absolutely beautiful magic and joy in your life. The floating swords here, 1, 2, 3, they are a reminder that the adventure isn't over and there is still plenty of joy to uncover. All right, so group 2, I want to take a look at your oracle cards. So we'll start with their gemstone. For the year, it is opal and joy. That is just perfect. The colors seem to match so well. We do have a lot of like golds and purples in here. There's kind of oranges and purples. Okay, and this is from the Healing Oracle Crystal Reading Cards. And I'm actually just going to pop into this and read from the guidebook because this is a really, really good guidebook. Okay, opal, joy. So this is related to all chakras, and opal holds within it the magic and joy of the cosmos. It invites and encourages you to lighten up, to relax, and to have more fun in life. And remember that your pure essence and organic nature is to feel joy, not this. So take a moment to connect deeply with this wonderful crystal and feel the pure joy within your being. Opal allows you to experience the love, joy, and pure essence of the soul. According to this, it's used in Aboriginal Dreamtime ceremonies to support and strengthen vision quests. According to this resource, it activates the thymus and allows you to enter a sacred space of love and joy. Opal enhances joy, spontaneity, and flow, which you need to be in to manifest. Encourages you to engage in the vibrant energy of life. So your oracle reading message from the Crystal Diva. You've called upon this card today to remind yourself that the joyfulness of the universe exists within you at all times. It is now time for you to truly experience the joy of life and your soul. The Divas of Opal are encouraging you to lighten up and stop being so serious about life. It's time to laugh and have some fun. Joy is one of the most powerful forms of healing and transformation. If you've been feeling a little low or under the weather, now is the perfect time to transform through this place into your joy once again. The Divas of Opal are inviting you to live a little more in their world and rediscover the joy and laughter that feeds your soul. Have fun, dance, play, run, jump, let go, get creative, do anything that ignites the joy within. This is an exciting and important time, and you and your life deserve this time of celebration. The Divas believe all life is to be honored and celebrated as often as possible because it is a true gift to be alive. They remind you that joy is your birthright and your soul's natural state of being. Allow the joy of the universe to flow through you as you awaken to joy. All right, I think we got that. And for you, I do think group 2, you have this already. You have this natural joy about you. There may be some times we're a little more serious or a little more worried. We've got some things going on. You might not always be able to tap into it, but because you manifest so well, I do feel like it's kind of a natural state for you. However, if you have an opal, carry an opal, work with opal, then this can help enhance things for you. So this might be a gemstone to get a hold of this year. Okay. Let's look at your mantras for the year. With our I Am Power deck, we have got, all right, I am sacral. Very nice. I'll stick you over there. So that's just sitting in your personal power, everybody. The Queen of Coins all the way, right there. Making your choices from your sacral area, your sacral chakra, showing up in the world from this space is just part of what makes you so magnetic. Yeah, and if this was ever an indicator that you have some intuitive abilities, group 2, then this is it. Let's scoot that guy up there. All right. Oh, stop. Okay, so we were just talking about you being magnetic, and apparently you are quite sticky. So this is again referring to that we talked about you having that lodestone around you, just attracting people. Yeah, pulling other people in. And working from a state of joy is also going to continue to do that. Yeah, so sitting in that, relishing that joy, finding those happy moments, the contentment, that's all just going to further serve to push you along your path. Yeah, I do think you definitely have some healing abilities. Okay, and of course, our last card here. Oh, yes, you are. Don't you forget that. That's interesting too. Again, we were talking about the golds and the purples, everything. So we have like, you know, more of the yellows happening here. And then we've got more of the purple creeping in right there as well. So sit in your joy, folks, and your awesomeness, and enjoy the ride this year. So group 2, I am going to end your reading here. Let me know one of your resolutions in the comment box below, or if anything in particular is resonating for you. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and check out my other videos. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss it when new videos. Have a wonderful year, group 2. May you be blessed and be a blessing to other people. I look forward to collaborating again with you in the near future. Bye, group 2. Hi, pile 3. If you picked the Labradorite and the Darkwood Tarot, then this is your 2022 energy reading. Today we have some oracle cards to work with, as well as 12 tarot cards, one for each month, to represent the energies of 2022. Keep in mind that we're looking at the overall energy, and we want to have a little flexibility within each particular month. Energy is always flexible, and therefore we may say a month as a particular target date for a particular card, but the energies could be flowing within several weeks of each other or bleeding over into the following month or even the month after that as well. It's really all about when you are sitting down to watch the video and selecting your piles. What's currently going on in your energy at that moment? Which pile has the strongest energy? What's resonating with you with where you are currently sitting? So this can be a timeless reading because it's all about your current energy and the trajectory of that energy. So you could pick this up even a little bit later on and it still might resonate even though it is not 2022. Group 3, let's get into what we have here. These readings have been going a little bit longer, so we've got a little ways to go. This is January with the Wheel of Fortune. And later on when we talk about each month, I'll pull them up a little bit more closely for you to investigate. 3 of Pentacles is February. March is the Queen of Cups. Three of Wands is April. May is the Four of Swords. And the 6th month, June, is the Six of Pentacles. Okay. I don't know why I always have to fuss with it, but okay, I'll leave it alone. July, Three of Swords. August, the Hermit. The Two of Swords is coming up for September. October is the Six of Cups. November, Queen of Wands. And finally, the Moon for December 2022. Okay. Boy, those just look beautiful together. All right, let's hop into what we have here. January is what we're looking at immediately here. Major Arcana card, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. This is very cool. Good way to start everything. So when I look at the Wheel of Fortune, typically it's reminding me that no matter life's ups and downs, that we can center ourselves. We can know that no matter what happens, whatever's going up is going to be coming down again. So there are going to be days where we feel like we are absolutely on top of the world. And then there are going to be days where we feel like we are being rolled under that wheel of fate. Ups are your joyous moments. Downs can feel like depression. They can feel like anxiety. When this wheel pops up, our guides are asking us to remember that everything is cyclical. Everything around us is cyclical. Nature runs its course through the seasons over and over again. The tides are pulled by the moon over and over. And we also have the water cycle. Earth's water supply runs through its own journey again and again. Repeat, repeat, repeat. So we are going to have experiences in life of both joys when we're at the top of the wheel and then sorrows. The wheel reminds us to focus on that center pin right there, that middle part. It's asking us to get centered. Allow the ups and downs to move around you and recognize them for what they are. They're ups and they're downs, but nothing is going to be permanent. Everything in life is transitory. Everything is going to be changing at all times. So the four little spirits here also. That's kind of grabbing my attention right here. They represent the 4 elements in the zodiac sign, astrological signs. And what I like about this style on this particular card is they each have their own little books here that they're looking at. It's really cute. So we might ask ourselves, what's in those little books? Perhaps they're writing their own stories, their own destinies, their manifestations for the year. I often get, for my own personal readings and readings I've done for some other people, that the Wheel of Fortune will pop up in regards to fate. It lets me know when I see it that certain big events are going to happen, or the energy surrounding some large events is making certain that these are going to occur. But this doesn't feel like that for you as much. Group 3. This time, the wheel does feel like a message from your guides and angels to remind you that you can choose where to send your energy. Because our energy is limited, it's precious, so is our time and our focus. So are you going to be focusing on the top of the wheel, the bottom, or are you going to be somewhere in the middle? It is entirely up to you. So January for group 3, this is a good month for you to tuck into yourself a little bit. Sit down and meditate on your goals for the upcoming months and scribe them while the sun is still in Capricorn. Just like our 4 different elemental friends, it doesn't matter where you fall on the wheel of the zodiac or the Wheel of Fortune. The pen is in your hand and the book is yours, group 3. So January is all about writing your goals, your manifestations. Group 3, getting comfortable with where you want your journey to go this year, what you want it to look like. And this may take a little bit of time. So get comfortable with your spot on the wheel and dig in. All right. So forward focused, I think, would be a good theme for January. For February, we are looking at the 3 of Pentacles. I love this design. So Pentacles are earthy signs: Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So something else that's interesting here. This begins our series of 3s, right? We've got 3 of Pentacles here, the 3 of Wands here, and the 3 of Swords. So 3 might be an important to you, or 6 as well, as we have the 6 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups, and obviously 2 3s make 6. We've got our 2 of Swords there. And 9, 3, 6, and 9. 9 might be a good number for you because it does indicate the end of a cycle, and again, 10 being the very end. And looking back to our wheel, a lot of circles here as well, if you notice that. So a lot of this feels like it's overlapping. And if those particular symbols mean something to you, then, take that as a little nudge. So February's 3s to me here, though, feel like fresh growth and a new start for you. And perhaps it's just these roots that we have going around the plants there. To me, it's pure possibility. It's creativity. It's tapping into potentials and seeing what you can manifest. So this work might be an art project, some kind of collaboration towards a common goal. And whatever this energy is for you, group 3. Oh, and you're group 3 too. I didn't even think of that. This energy is a boon, and its gifts are going to be multiplying this year. Just infinitely spiraling in for you. A lot of good things happening. I do think you will be able to identify where this energy is, as things will be easier for you in that particular realm as you're sitting in February. So just pay attention. Where does there seem to be more flow? Where do things seem to be a little simpler for you, a little easier for you? You don't have to reach as hard, try as hard. Another thought is that money may flow for you here. I think people are going to be happy. They're going to be helpful. This is an indicator that something beautiful is about to be born, group 3. New ideas are planted here and they're incubated. Wherever you put your attention in January, whatever you'd written in your little book here, you immediately are going to be getting some results in February. I think this is you just looking down the rabbit hole of possibilities. Pentacles, again, they're mostly about the physical or tangible realm, as we talked about, our earthy signs here. So if you aren't sure, again, where to look, if you're not noticing the ease or the flow right away, as I was mentioning, the physical realm may be a place to start. So relationships, family, friendships, money, your home, your assets, your physical vessel, your body. For some of you, I am seeing someone in the gym. So this could be you starting to see some results from taking care of your body. You might have even started a little bit before this period. For others, there may be a wish of fertility or family expansion. As I see these pentacles here, to me, and I don't know if this is right or not, it looks like an apple's been cut so that we have the star in the middle revealing the seeds. And so I often think of the apples in an apple tree and their roots as family and legacy. The flesh is cut wide open here. The seeds are exposed for us to see. So for some of you, this may be about members of your family becoming more healthy or well, and you delighting in that result as well. Good news coming in. This really is a month of ease and flow, group 3. Stretching and growth come naturally, and it doesn't feel like a challenge. Some of my more esoteric friends may be challenging themselves to get a little more grounded in this 3D reality, and you're doing it. Good job. Making friends with your body, making friends with your surroundings. And this might include gussying up your home and your space and making it reflect this natural flow state which you find yourself in. This is the time to ride the flow of the tide and just see where the creative waters end up pushing you. So make sure you're enjoying the ride here, group 3. Okay? Very positive energy popping in right there. It's a good way to start the year. And then if we take a closer look here for March we're into now. This is the Queen of Cups. Her face reminds me of, who was the lady that played Xena? Lucy something? From the 90s. Like, I don't know. She's beautiful, but she looks like her with those eyes. Queen of Cups. Okay, so this is a really kind of dreamy quality that we have going on here. And for some of you, this is tapping into your intuition, your inner magic coming out to play, as we see this kind of spiraling up. This could be in conjunction with the sun when it enters dreamy and empathic Pisces. So you may find your empathy is dialed up to the maximum at this particular time. Be gentle with yourself and give yourself space to feel your feelings, group 3. It's okay to take some time to yourself. You may have to recharge your batteries a little more frequently from your typical day-to-day interactions at this point. Taking a bath with Epsom salts or shower scrub will help to slough off any extra energies that don't belong to you. During that time, just pay attention. As the water's hitting you, you can do a little visualization of just pure lights and love coming down, and scrub off all the yucky stuff, and just picture that as sludge just kind of going down the drain. Watch it circle away from you. You may find your intuition is also kicked up a notch, so pay attention to your dreams this month, as our dreams are an incubator for manifestation, and there's a lot of manifestation power with you in this particular group. Our dreams report to us the energies that are already in our energy field, in our minds, the seeds of ideas that we're starting to plant that want to come to fruition. They suddenly are popping up. So dreams can be very telling. It also can tell us about energies that we are avoiding as well. If you're into tarot, astrology, psychic readings, this might be a good month to book a reading at this particular time, or take a class if you've been thinking about developing your own intuition. I am also being drawn here to this energy that's flowing from the cup, and then her finger here, the water, back and forth here. I can see her raising her glass in a toast to you. So I think you are being encouraged to communicate with your spirit guides. For those of you that are comfortable with that, communication may be a bit easier and free-flowing for you this month, and that might be something that you've started to work on. Might have been a manifestation or goal for you in January. The appearance of the Queen may indicate a person coming into your life also who has these dreamy and empathic qualities about them, intuitive. Yeah, somebody who is dreamy, highly intuitive, empathic, creative. This person would be a wonderful ally and friend to you, group 3. For some intuitives, this might actually be a mentor or a teacher, perhaps a healer you can learn from. This actually may be somebody well known to you, a person you admire or have had your eye on or just know of them in certain circles for some time. And if you're on the fence, this is your nudge just to go forward with it. If you see a class online with somebody that you know of, even if they're well known, go for it. The Queen is also encouraging you to dig into your deepest wishes and desires. Look at her tapping the water there. What you nourish is what will flourish. This energy wants to be born into the 3D, and her message is that you can make that a reality. And she's facing this direction. To me, this is past direction. We're reading this way, left to right. This is the future here. So her eye is, gazing back toward the January intention and toward the February manifestation. There is some interplay here, looking back towards that 3 of Pentacles. She's part of the flow, and she's here to help you take this to the next level. There is a big energy of fertility here with this interplay. Fertile soil, fertile for ideas to take root and to grow. Your attention is the water. It is the nourishment. So dig deep into what you already want, group 3. Yeah, the answers to what you seek are already inside of you, and you just need to take that faithful leap and see where you land. Here's our next card, group 3. We are looking at the 3 of Wands for April. So I believe we have a vampire here. And a little victim right there. Okay, but that's not quite how I'm feeling things. In fact, I want to stack these 2 cards back to back because I feel like the energy of these 2 months is linked. It sort of looks like we're exiting Queen of Cups and we're coming around the corner, and here we have the 3 of Wands in the same cave complex. So perhaps this is another part of your soul's journey, just that inward kind of look that you're going on this particular year for 2022. So I do see these 2 ladies as 2 sides of the same coin. I think here we think of blood as the currency of life. The vampire taking energy back this way from what's been being manifested and created here, and using that, transforming it into action for the next few months, as we have Wands here, which is a fire suit and the suit of action and creativity and creation. This is taking what you've intuited, what you've dreamed, what you have been manifesting, and then staking your claim. Vampire. Moving forward into the world with your idea, your dreams, and your desires, group 3. Yeah, this is a really great period to just lean into what it is you desire. What do you crave? What path are you going to be taking next? What choices are you going to make? The information here is to tap into this fiery energy and just run with it. This is really fitting as the beginning of the month. The sun is in Aries, our first fire sign of the zodiac wheel. Actually, notice this, the pentacles here, this here, the moon. There is a lot of symbolism with the circles too. So moons, circles, wheels, that might be a symbol for you to pay attention to. It might mean something to you. So our Aries signs, we're talking about people that are passionate, enthusiastic, and motivated. There are cheerleaders, leadership roles, people that want us to do better. They'll be that person that's cheering by our side. And so this is a great time to tap into that particular energy and just go with it. Take the torches and go. Lean into your creativity, lean into your passions, enjoy this time of innovation. It's bringing promise to you. And the fire is sustaining you as you work towards grounding whatever goals you set here into the 3D. And for some of you, I think we mentioned kind of paying attention to your dreams here. Over here, we have the phrase, I'm thinking dream incubator. That's what's coming forward. This is being used to describe you in the energy of this particular month. So some of you may be continuing that dream exploration here. There may be some really interesting information, fascinating, that comes through for some of you. I am getting that you may be psychically picking up on what's actually going on with other people in your dreams. I almost see these 3 bats. Oh my gosh, 3 bats, 3 torches, 3. They're like swooping in and giving you information, going to visit other people and bringing it back to you. So you might actually be picking up information in your dreams on people you do not personally know, people you've never met. So pay attention if you see faces, group 3, that you don't recognize, or people that you have never seen before in life. See what happens. The dreams could be completely random. They could be about small to day-to-day occurrences or larger things as well. And if this is the case, you may want to consider delving deeper into your dream time. Some of you may be finding inspiration in unique places as well this month, group 3. I mean, a cave's pretty unique, right? But you're being encouraged to find what lights up your heart and fuel it up, whether that's music, whether it's art, whether it's cooking, whatever your passion is. That is the blood that will truly nourish your beating heart and propel you into what is coming around the bend, what's coming next. Okay. So our energy for May is the 4 of Swords. Take a look at this one. Oop, I think I just shook the camera there, sorry. I always love looking at different tarot decks because how the artist and the author interpret what's there, it's always going to be different. And when I see the 4 of Swords is one that always looks so different to me from deck to deck. So since January, you've had a lot of intuitive action happening here, group 3. And when I see 4 of Swords, typically it's about taking that time out, relaxing, resting a little bit. And I think the 3 swords that are up here in the balance promise that there are more adventures to come down the road, even if you're taking a little rest, a snooze right now. Just take the time out and enjoy it while you can. I always laugh at my friends who have small children and the days that the kids aren't napping and how frustrated the parents can get, you know, that lack of sleep on their end. That is no joke, but the children don't know what they're missing half the time. They're going to sleep when they want to sleep, but you know, the parents often say, you know, they don't know what they're missing. There's going to be a time where you're maybe not able to take that afternoon nap. So you're being encouraged, take a little time to yourself right here, if possible. So it's just about relaxing those mental energies into stability if you're a bit tired or a bit drained. There is no need to push yourself in this time period. And for others of you, I am getting, this is a little bit different. I've never gotten this before, actually. This month may provide you with some interesting new information to puzzle over or a new situation that you're thinking about. You may actually glean insight from meditation or rest, which goes back into that idea of dreaming that we were talking about the last couple of months. Many problems are solved when we get into a flow state, and this is a clue that if you're puzzling something out at this particular time, try tapping into your subconscious through meditation or dreaming. So take lots of naps, group 3. What comes through might be really surprising for some folks. Very intriguing. Something new, something innovative. And so take that rest, take some time out, see what happens as a result. And I'm also being told to mention the color green. There is a lot of green on this card compared to the relative redness and the oranges we're seeing in some of the other cards in the darker colors. There is yeah. I mean, we do have a little green here, maybe a little bit here, but this is the most vivid green I'm seeing. I think, isn't that the May birthstone? Traditionally, isn't it an emerald or something like that, or a green stone of some kind? This does feel important to bring up for some of you, so you might want to check out the metaphysical properties of an emerald. I'm guessing it may have to do with the heart chakra and healing or something along those lines because of the heart chakra's color being green. Green may be a good color for you this month, or emeralds may be something to keep nearby. You can get some rough ones pretty cheaply, untumbled, unpolished, or if you're lucky enough to have a polished emerald yourself, that's something else you could wear or keep around you. And the other thing I'm also seeing, maybe it's just because I'm jumping into the like traditional birth things, Lily of the Valley, isn't that the May birth flower as well, or one of them? That seems important to mention. And I'm seeing this lush green grass and these little white bellflowers, which they have just an absolutely gorgeous scent. It's so heavenly. This might mean something to some of you. It might be a symbol. It might be your favorite flower. If you've never smelled Lily of the Valley, oh my gosh, go treat yourself. The scent is absolutely phenomenal. And to come out of these super tiny little flowers, it's so potent and strong. So the imagery to me of what I'm seeing here is just pure spring. And it's a sign to me that the Northern Hemisphere is marching into warmer weather. And also what's really coming through here, and I think this is the most important thing, so listen, make sure you are tending to your own garden, group 3. Not anybody else's stuff, your stuff. Group 3, this is rejuvenating yourself. This feels very, very important. Tend to your own garden. As you do this, I see you stepping outside and those little lilies of the valley spring up wherever you step. I see this as you being fruitful with your efforts, and this period of rest just brings forth new growth and forward momentum. So be sure, even in your rest period, even as you're working through things, you stop and smell the flowers. Enjoy them. Okay, that takes us into June. As we mentioned before, this is our 6th month, and we have here the 6 of Pentacles. Now this also has a traditional look to it. Some of the elements are the same here, but I'm getting things that are a little more nefarious. I don't want to say outright sinister. There's just some things we want to pay attention to this month. And I feel like, I mean, the way he looks, I feel like it might be obvious in some cases. Not talking about someone's appearance, but the way somebody might act. It does, typically this card has to do with acts of kindness and charity and generosity, fairness, balance. You know, we have an even number here. A lot of times the even numbers in tarot and numerology have to do with balance. They're more stable numbers at any rate. But this card does feel like a bit of a warning this month in June, and perhaps it's just you with this awesome manifesting energy that's been happening these other months. You know, the flowers are starting to pop up under your heels here in May. I think other people are noticing the abundance that you bring and the shine that's coming off of you, the shine, the potential that's emanating from you. So I want you just to be sure, double check any contracts before signing on the dotted line. Be aware of what it is that someone is approaching you for. They may want a bit of your shine for themselves. So just be thoughtful, be mindful, be careful of what the fine print says. Don't make any deals without getting everything thoroughly vetted. And again, I see this as somebody approaching you for something. It may not necessarily be a contract per se, but there is some kind of contact going down, which may be related to a job, a house, a talent that you have, a family member, your attention, your time, your affection. It doesn't have to be, again, a contract, but it's just about, it could almost become contract-like in that you're getting pulled into something, group 3. So whether it's a scammer of some kind, or somebody who just wants to profit off your big, beautiful brain, and again, it could be anything depending on your circumstances, just be careful, okay? This doesn't mean all folks are worrisome, okay? And again, sometimes you can see that they are based off of their attitudes, but if there's somebody who's really trying to get into your good graces, sometimes we cannot tell the wolf in sheep's clothing. Know your people, know who it is that you're dealing with, do your research. And again, to me, this is a sign that your light is shining very brightly. I'm really being drawn to the pentacles right now and the way they're just kind of popping out in the background like lights behind him. You have definitely gotten other folks' attention, and don't let anybody dull that glow, though. We all get what we put out into the world, and for each icky interaction you have, you're going to receive much more positivity. And these icky folks are also going to be getting what they deserve eventually in return. With these pentacles here hanging, I don't, even though they are to the girls here, I don't see them as being out of their reach. They're not out of reach, but at this time in June, these are not the pentacles you want. There is something bigger and better coming your way, so be discerning this particular month. Not all of these are going to work out. That might be a message for some of you with that number 6. Those ones might not work out with all their little seeds in them. Yeah, appearances can be deceiving. Just because someone looks good doesn't mean that they operate from a core of goodness. Just because something seems promising doesn't mean it is. Use your gut instinct and your intuition to steer yourself into a positive direction, group 3. And if you aren't sure about somebody, check with people you trust. This even like goes back to this. If we do look at the expressions on their faces, if you looked at that earlier, he's got gloves on. I don't know. There might be something weird that's going to happen. Maybe it's consensual. I don't know. She's got a knife down there, but yeah, just be careful. Check in with the people around you whom you trust. Just keep doing your thing, group 3. Ignore the people who give you the heebie-jeebies. There's a reason your guides are letting you feel that heebie-jeebie energy, so don't ignore it. All right. So that was a bit longer than I was expecting to go on with the heads up there. That seemed important. For others of you, and this could be, for anybody, the 6 of Pentacles card can also indicate that you are in a stable spot right now, which good for you, and that you're in a place where you may help other folks who need it. This may be a good time for you to learn more about a particular cause and not just help by donating money, although that is always nice, but also learn about what's important to a particular cause, to that cause. Get behind something that will help our fellow man or the planet and make it something that you really are tapped into, that you care about. Do some research and see how you can be an ally to others or to Mama Earth or just whatever it is that lights up your fire. Remember that charity isn't just about money. It's equally or more so about giving time and energy, which are our most precious resources, really. Whatever you decide to do this month, it's not going to affect your ability to give or your stability right now if you are able to give. So give in the way that best suits you, if this is the energy that feels resonant to you. Okay? So a couple of different messages there. Now I want to get into July. And this is the 3 of Swords, the big old tarantula. And it looks like we have a heart on a spider web here. So let's talk about this. This is our third 3, by the way, too. There's our 3, 3, and 3. I do think July's energy here is piggybacking off of this for some of you, off of the June energy. There is a possible divide between what the heart wants and what the head knows. And I feel like that's so true for so many lessons in life. We have this warring mental energy of the 3 of Swords coming through this in this reading. So again, our third 3, the number 3 might be important to some of you, group 3, and with this war, they're piercing through the tender flesh of the heart here. So for some of you last month, there was this warning about possible issues with a particular person approaching you or wanting something from you, or just some kind of contact that goes somewhere in whatever area that you're kind of leaning into right now. Notice this, there's 3 figures on that card as well. So for some of you, there may be a third-party situation going on, and July is the month where things kind of open up and are revealed. Talking about the 3 of Swords is always can be a challenge. I wouldn't say it's always a challenge, but it can be. And the book that comes with this particular deck is beautifully written. Oh my goodness. And they refer to this energy, and I'll probably always think of it this way going forward, as a heart opener. And reading that made me think about the poet, the mystic Rumi, how he writes about the wound being the place where the light enters you. This is the heart opening. allowing for that light to shine in, allowing us transformation, allowing us change. This isn't an easy process, as anyone who's experienced heartache or loss can attest. And we know that the growth comes from just sitting in that pain, allowing it to wash over you, nurturing yourself through it all. And we know that healing does take time. If some of you did go forward with the energies here in June, connecting with someone, wanting something to work out, maybe really wanting something to work out so much that you don't see what's going on around you, this energy indicates that this connection may dissolve and fall through. However, it can also be unrelated to that. The appearance of this card can also mean that a discussion needs to happen with someone who's important to you in your life in one way or another, where you just need to get to the heart of the matter. If something's been on the back burner with you guys, if something's being shoved under the rug, this may be the time to have a frank discussion about what's going on. Do what you need to do to prepare. You don't want to go in all raw like this. Protect yourself a little bit. The energy, though, at this point is showing it's positive about you being open, laying your concerns or issues bare for everyone to see. We talked about these being open and bare here as well, that flesh being open. You are opening your heart up to this other person. You may have also had your heart set on something or someone that simply just doesn't serve your highest good. That could be, some of the imagery we're seeing over the last 2 months, a bit of foreshadowing there. You may even be aware of this mentally. Again, the swords are the mental energy we talked about, but the heart wants what the heart wants. This is about learning to balance the wants versus the needs and honoring what is right for you. It may not be something that has to do with other people, like a relationship, for example. This card could also be an indicator that you are starting to make some healthier choices in eating, for example, and this is a period of time where you are addressing your feelings and your attitudes about your physical and emotional nourishment. So that's not for everybody, but give yourself what you need to move within this energy so you're comfortable. Nourishing food, plenty of rest, drinking lots of water. If you have to cry, cry. Release emotional energy. Take walks outside. Do some journaling. Lean on others where it's safe. And if you're stuck, be sure to look into counseling if you need to. And if you hear all this and you're kind of going, oh my gosh, this doesn't mean that it's going to go there for everybody. Again, this is a general reading, so take what resonates. When you're ready, if there need to be some cords cut, this to a particular relationship, this is the time to do it, or in the months ahead as you are kind of processing and moving through that emotional part. Let yourself feel and release first before you go into cut. The other thing I want to mention before I move on to August is we talked at the beginning in January how we're either at the top of the wheel or we can sit in the center to be balanced, but sometimes we feel like we're at the bottom of the wheel. Notice where this is falling. When we look at heartache too, we could feel like we're literally at the bottom of the wheel there. But again, this whole year I feel like is kind of about adjusting your expectations and finding your seat somewhere in the center. Interesting. So August brings in the Hermit, Major Arcana, and yeah, our other Major Arcana was here, so we haven't had one since then. And this card actually is one that is fairly self-explanatory in general, just for its title. It really is not surprising to see this following this particular card intuitively. When we have a big heart opening over here, the Hermit implies there's just a period of deep reflection that comes afterward. This is the meditative period following any catharsis or revelation. It's the time to charge your batteries, to contemplate your next steps. My gosh, I'm looking at this now too up here. This spiral. This is almost like the spiral of thought that you're going on. This is you stepping into the chambers of your own heart. exploring what lies within. How is the light entering you? How are you different than before? What beauty lives here? And how can you honor yourself? The Hermit implies silence, and the silence is where we can hear the beating of our own hearts. And that can be deafening for some people. It can be uncomfortable for some as they're facing new understandings about themselves. That's understandings. But this is an important part of the heart opening in the healing process. Sitting in that silence. We're meant to honor that. This can also reflect a time of general withdrawal from the public eye, a period of rest, a time to keep your own company and get to know yourself a little bit better. Many times the Hermit card also implies a period of spiritual awakening and growth, group 3. So your guides are encouraging you to go deep within the chambers here of your heart and explore yourself. Sit in silence, examine your truths. This is the time to figure out what lies beneath. A lot of water happening there. Yeah, still waters run deep. How have you grown? Have you noticed any old habits or patterns that need to be released? What's your truth? How can you align with that truth? What steps are you taking next? And then again, me and my threes. So we've got our 3 threes here, and 3 times 3 is the number 9. Major Arcana. So that feels pretty significant to me, and it may indicate the last of the major expansive periods of your year. And what follows is your integration into the major lessons into yourself. Okay. I feel like I talk a lot here, but for as much as I'm talking, this is so much more about you just doing that internal reflection. Okay. So that was August. September is the 2 of Swords. We've got our shadow figures here. And, nope, there's a buzzer for the laundry. Sorry about that. 2 of Swords. The reflection, notice there are no shadows. There's not even woods around her. Okay. So August is bringing a choice. When we have the 2 of Swords, it's about balance. It's about choice, looking inward. So with the 2 of Swords here, this can be about the same dilemma or choice that we've been dealing with since June, and the appearance of, that contract energy we were talking about. But it may be unrelated for some of you. And this is quite simply just about reflection, as we see here, going within. And this may be that exploration of what the heart wants versus what the head knows, as we mentioned over here. And just going forward with a permanent choice, a final choice, or a solution that suits your needs. So you're making that decision and then you're done. This really is an extension, I think, of the Hermit energy. Yeah, but you're at a point in which you are feeling more empowered and you're ready to make a decision to move forward into this new energy, which can feel a bit scary at times. And that's where we're getting those shadows we were talking about that are up here, but they're not reflected in the pool. So much of the fear is based in the mind. And again, swords are mental energy. That energy can create its own conflict when we spend a little too much time there. So this is a reminder too to use your heart and your intuition as guidance, but also remember that what the head has learned through this process as well. This is an integration that's happening here. And again, the number 2, we're more balanced. We're moving out of an imbalanced energy. Yeah, this card shows that you know what you need and what is best going to suit you. I am being told, though, to remind you about using your guides and your angels for help. So call on them for advice when you need it, please. They are happy to help you in whatever way that they can. They can help you find the right words to express your feelings. And I am also being told, if you are doing that, if you're having a conversation with somebody, that remember, swords and sword energy is about communication as well. And words can be used, and swords can be used to heal, such as a surgeon's blade, or to harm. So words are powerful tools. This energy is about discovering the clarity to move forward from this period of reflection and heart opening to, again, a more outward kind of orientation and expansion. Yeah, this is the signal you're ready to move on, group 3. So very, very nice. Okay, September. September is represented by the 6 of Cups. We have a mother crow feeding the baby crow. Moonflowers growing out of the cups here in the tree. This is kind of a warm, fuzzy feeling that I'm getting here, group 3. This is a movement from reflection about your next steps towards one of happy nostalgia. This is a contentment you're feeling, very warm and fuzzy. You may be feeling nostalgic this month. Memories and shadows bring up old feelings, shared experiences. This card always reminds me of the time I was digging through a treasure trove of old photos, clothing, and mementos up in my grandmother's attic as a little girl. Going upstairs to play there, you run your fingers over all the material. There were antique dresses and vintage toys. And as a kid, it was so exciting to go explore these things, especially to go up in the attic of, this big old house. But what made the experience more enriching is talking over those treasures with family members, with mom, other members of the family, with grandma. And so for you, group 3, this is a terrific month to connect with loved ones, have a visit, make a call, send an email, dig into the past a bit to connect more to the present. Yeah, you will have more of a bridge that way. So this is the time to marvel and enjoy how your uncle's granddaughter has this exact laugh, or look through some old photos and talk about the memories there with your cousin. And it doesn't have to be family either, group 3. It can also be friendships that have withstood the test of time. And if you haven't spoken with someone in a while, perhaps reach out to them and see how they are doing. I'm almost seeing these as little telephones everywhere. Like the tin can phones that they will show in the older movies, with kids talking in one end and out the other before we had cell phones so readily. So this month feels very warm and very content, group 3. You want to surround yourself with sensory delights that bring forward peace and contentedness. This might be cooking an old family recipe or putting on grandpa's brand of aftershave. This is a nice energy, group 3. It's one of peace and happiness, and it's a calmness that's coming in after dealing with some slightly heavier situations or moods in the last few months. All right, let's take a look at November. So November here we have the Queen of Wands, our second queen energy here. Isn't she lovely? So this is pretty spicy, group 3. I feel this could actually be you coming back into a more forward-facing energy than this reflection that's been going on over the last couple of months. October had you starting to come out of your shell into happy memories, and this is you stepping out of that energy and into the world with all eyes on you. And you are absolutely ready for this. There is this act of joyfulness and intense creation with this energy. This is you stepping to the front of the stage and taking the lead role this month. You may have had something coming your way that asks this of you, or this could be your own natural tendencies, you being ready to step forward on your own terms. But either way, you're going to be getting noticed, group 3. And again, this is dual queen energy here. It says a lot about your emotional maturity, your creativity, your intuitive abilities, and compassion as well. Plus there is this maturity here. There's a mature balance between, we've got cups and wands, water, fire. And it's likely that this month you are firing on all cylinders in every facet of your life. I don't sense burnout, but a renewal. As though the brighter that you're burning, the more your inner self is going to be shining through. This is a terrific month for projects, for planting new ideas, for brainstorming, and fostering and mentoring others as you receive tremendous joy from watching their growth and their learning. This month finds you very present, in the moment, rooted into what's around you. I think those are trees behind here in the background. No anxious future forecasting here. No dwelling on the past. This is just a bright time, and your guides want you to keep shining that light that you have here. Group 3, you are a star. And finally, we're going to end with the energies of December and the moon. So another major arcana card. This is our, third card from the major arcana. They've been spaced out pretty well too. Starting with the Wheel of Fortune. We had the Hermit here a couple of months ago, and then moving into December with the moon. So again, this is another reflective energy. You've had quite a bit of that this year. It also speaks to being transparent and just being open about things that are going on around you. So to be accepting of all events and the reflection on those events, clearly illustrating how you've grown into the beautiful person you are and rooting into more each and every day. It shows a strength in your intuitive development as we have the moon up here and we've got the water underneath. This deep acceptance and understanding of your emotions goes with that. And I feel like this does tie back into this Wheel of Fortune. You understand this Wheel of Fortune now better than you ever have. You've experienced both highs and you've experienced some lows this year. And you now can embody that to the point where you're sitting squarely in the middle of this wheel and just allowing things to be. No control, no acceptance. You know, I see this as you sitting here. This almost mirrors, the spokes coming out here almost mirror the same action that the swords are producing, or that same effect there. But here, it's just like nothing's draining you, nothing's taking anything from you. You're just comfortable with where you are. I do feel with this card here in December that you are ready to take that moonlit path ahead, and you're ready for the adventures that it brings. There's a beauty, there is a joy in the journey, and you are now at the point where you are just totally accepting and welcoming of this. The possibilities here are illuminated. New desires, new chances, new risks, and there are new rewards. And I do think you are ready for all of it, Group 3. So another thing, just dig deep into your dreams this month and pay attention to your psychic visions, because they are going to be serving you well. All right, that brings us to the end of our tarot reading, and let's take a look at your oracle cards for this year. We're going to get one crystal reading card here, Black Obsidian, the Shadow. This feels really appropriate actually for this year. What I would like to do is I'm going to jump into the book for this. Sometimes I do that for these because this one's a good one. So I'm just going to open this up and read what is written here, because sometimes it says it a lot better than I could. Okay, so Black Obsidian is black as stated, and it's related to your base or root chakra. So Black Obsidian has the powerful medicine to assist in the purging of old stale energy from the field, your energetic field, your aura, and transforming it into fresh and vibrant light. It's formed from volcanic lava, and it holds within the medicine and the energy of fire. You have a lot of fire here, of strength and courage. It burns through the darkness, bringing new light and wisdom to all who cross its path. There's a lot of light here. Yeah, look at this. This is almost the same person here, just throwing that cloak back, and so much light there. So crystal meaning, it's a powerful cleanser of negative energy. It draws to the surface unresolved issues for release and healing, anything that you might have to reflect on. Dissolves any destructive patterns. That's great. Lets old habits and traits surface, allowing love and acceptance of the total self, and permits entry into the void to receive wisdom and knowledge from the shadow side. Okay, very nice. So your message from the Crystal Diva: the journey of the shadow is definitely a powerful and enriching experience on many levels. Those who find the strength and courage to master the path of the shadow are gifted with a life of balance and freedom. We are all one with the universe, and all aspects, positive and negative, light and dark, exist within us. The shadow consists of aspects that are denied and pushed away due to fear and misunderstanding. They become hidden in the unconscious and spiral out of control and can wreak havoc in your life. When you invite them back into the light, which is what you're doing here, the conscious mind, you can love them without judgment, bringing about a deeper sense of peace and harmony in your inner and outer world. If you've been feeling a little depressed as of late, maybe even acting out in self-sabotage, pushing away fear and other negative emotions, this could be a sign that your shadow is playing out in your unconscious. It is now time to embrace all of you and love yourself in all your totality. Many gifts, including your personal power, are hidden within the shadow, and it is now time to reclaim these gifts in all their glory. Divas of Black Obsidian are here to support you at this important time as you embark on this self-empowering journey into the shadow. This card may also be a sign that whatever you are asking guidance on in this reading is hidden in the shadow. And there is something that you are not seeing yet. So be patient and work with the divas to bring awareness and insight into your situation. Fascinating. I feel like this does speak a lot to what's happening here. Uncovering, unveiling, exploring those chambers of the heart as we talked about. Digging deeper into yourself this year. And just being that witness, the person that can kind of sit in the middle and allow and accept things that are going on. You might want to work with some Black Obsidian. I do believe it's pretty readily available if you look up any places to purchase it online, or you can probably find it locally if you have any metaphysical stores or gem and mineral shops as well. All right. Let's look at your I Ams from the I Am Power deck. We're going to start with I Am Magic. Well, of course you are. I feel like so much of your reading was about that group 3. That magic, the inherent magic that you have. And I really feel that of all groups so far, you have a feel to be very in tune with your emotions, a little bit witchy, or definitely able to manifest. Someone who can really bring forward the energies around them and ground them into reality so that they become truth. And that's why it's so important to remember that what we nourish flourishes. So keep your energy focused on what you truly want to manifest and take the necessary first steps into making this a reality. We also have I Am Genuine. I'm going to pull that down so we still see that. And we're making a mess. That's okay. All right. So this is great. The Queen of Cups. Well, maybe that's why she popped up here. The Queen of Cups would indicate that you're very in tune with your emotions, and the Wand and Sword energy in your reading here also indicate that there is a directness about you. And with some of those energies that come into play later in the year, the heart opening and the reflection, these would indicate that you have emotional awareness and that you are indeed able to be sincere, genuine, straightforward with who you are and how you make your way in the world. And people who make magic in the world are very sincere, genuine, and they own that integrity. They own themselves. And that's part of their power. That's really how they can manifest things and bring them into reality, to create them for themselves. All right, last one. How about that? All right. It's just, these ones always freak me out about how accurate they can be. So another good mantra for you this year is I Am Manifestation. So this really is perfect. We're moving from, the 3 of Wands energy that we have up here to the Queen of Wands down here. She is pure magnetism. Look at this. We're kind of on a diagonal here. Yeah. You are capable of manifesting all of your wishes and desires, group 3. And I would love to hear what some of those things are that you are working on manifesting in the comment box below. So those are your mantras, your oracle card, and your general energies for 2022. Group 3, I'm going to end your reading here. Let me know one of your resolutions in the comment box below. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and check out my other videos. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss when new videos are published. Have a wonderful year, group 3. May you be blessed and be a blessing to others. I look forward to collaborating with you again in the future. Bye, group 3. Hi, pile 4. If you picked the Celestite, isn't that so pretty? and the Everyday Witch Tarot, then this is going to be your reading. So what we're going to be doing today is we're looking at some oracle cards as well as 12 tarot cards, one for each month of 2022. And before we take a look at those, I just want you to keep in mind that we are looking at the overall energy of 2022. Energy reading is always a flexible thing, and therefore we may say a certain energy, say perhaps the Fool is what pops up in January, just the start of a journey, for example. However, energy, when we're looking at it, is very flexible. It depends on free will. It just depends on what energy you're currently sitting in, what kind of steps you're taking to manifest things and create things. And so the true intuitive experiment here is actually when you sit down to pick your pile and see what comes through that way. And so technically we could call this a timeless reading because you might resonate with a certain pile at any given moment. We want to be flexible in how we approach this though, because energies could come a little bit later, they could come a little bit sooner. They may come a month or even 2 months after we say something's happening. It just all depends again on where you're currently sitting and what kind of steps you're taking to move forward. So let's take a look at things. Beginning with our Everyday Witch Tarot. January, we have the 10 of Wands. And we'll look at each one of these a little more closely when we pull them up for each particular month. February is the King of Cups. The Two of Swords. March. April, the Two of Cups. That's interesting, 2 twos. May, Knight of Wands. And June, the 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. So starting with a 10 in January and getting to June and ending with a 10. July, Ace of Swords. August, the High Priestess. There's our first major arcana card. September, 7 of Wands. October, the 4 of Pentacles. November, the 8 of Swords. And December, the 9 of Cups. Beautiful. Okay. So, start with January. January 2022. So we're starting with the 10 of Wands for you. And this is a card where we clearly have a bit of pushing that's happening, some struggle, a lot of exertion, and perhaps feeling like we're carrying other people as well. So if that sounds familiar, that might be what's currently up in your energy field. So January's energies here are a little bit heavy. We have this uphill battle, and I really don't think that this is something new for some of you. You already may be feeling like you are trudging up a mountainside, and again, carrying that weight of others. You likely have been at this energy for some time, and you are approaching the end of this cycle here because we have a 10. This energy could be a general feeling of juggling so much that you don't feel like you have any gas left in the tank to make it to the top. And it looks like maybe they're halfway up. Who knows? We don't know how far they have to go here. For others, this might be job related. It might be career related. You might just have a lot on your plate. You may be, some of you, in a physically demanding occupation and you're just tired or worn out. Maybe you feel like, parts of your body are just starting to give out. which is also drawing my attention to the idea that some of you might actually be looking to get into better shape this year. That might be a goal for you. And January perhaps is a tipping point. This bundle of brooms is so heavy to carry for the distance that this person has to go. Yeah, and it might point you toward right now dropping some physical weight this year and getting into better shape. It's like you can see the top of the mountain, and you know that when you hit the summit, you will be able to see clearly and feel so much better. But right now, it seems like an impossibility. For others, this could be getting really wrapped up in other people's stuff. These may not all be your brooms. You're carrying your friends on your back. It's the difference between letting others take on their own issues and you dealing with your own things. So some of you might be overly empathic, empathetic, just wanting to help other people out, and perhaps you just stretch yourself a little too thin. If you're up to 10, this is a signal that you really don't have room for anything else, so you're being encouraged to lay some of those burdens down. If you're juggling too much right now, just ask for help. Remember that not everybody is a mind reader, and you need to make your needs known, and that you do not have to do this alone. Group 4. Something I'm being drawn to here is just the trajectory of this person is away from every other card here. Their back is facing away from somebody who perhaps is nearby, that they could ask for help. Just something to keep in mind. Let's take a look at February. So February here is our King of Cups. This person looks like they'd help. Okay. This is just that breath of relief. And this individual, the King of Cups, feels like they are emotionally in tune. They are empathic. And they see where you are in this particular situation, in this Ten of Wands energy. And they are present to help you lighten the load. In fact, they're probably looking at you through that spyglass. For some of you, this is an individual that you see as an authority figure, someone who can help you make decisions or transition into a lighter way of being. Some of you may be transitioning into a new role at a job, and this new supervisor is somebody unknown to you, or might just be a little higher up. You could also be starting an entirely new job, and this person becomes your mentor. This could also be, if we're taking the career out of it, it could be someone else you run into in any facet of life, a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse. For some of you, I'm getting recording industry. You might bump into somebody that can get you a gig somewhere or like hook you up. I don't know the terminology of that. Just somebody who's there to help lighten your load. Make a connection, whatever this Ten of Wands situation is, whatever you've been working at here, trying to do, trying to manifest, they're going to be there to help you out. Yeah, to jump back into the getting into shape aspect for some of you, this might be someone who's a personal trainer, for example, at a local gym, or a coach that you begin working with, nutrition coach, online coaching. There's tons of people online doing life coaching and things like that. I do see this person as a little bit removed from you, not somebody you likely already know, but this isn't going to be the case for everybody, as this is a general reading. So whoever this person is, they may be a bit older than you, or at least in all likelihood more experienced in whatever area it is that you are seeking help in. I keep seeing body work for some of you, massage. So it could be just somebody who's established in that field. And you might not even be going into that, but it's just a connection. This person might just be a connector for you into something else as well. So it could be somebody who's a connector, and I will see spider webs with that, and that's what I'm getting right now, that is very sticky. Somebody who's good at hooking other people up. This is where you need to go. This is where you need to go. This is a possible partnership with somebody. For some of you, this could be an offering also of love and romance with it. Or there might be a crush involved. I'm getting for a lot of you that 75% of you probably that it's not going to go anywhere, but it may be. And this energy that they're bringing is just calm. It is the exact balm that a weary 10 of Wands soul needs to help get things flowing. This is all fire. This is water over here. You're bringing energies into balance. And this does feel almost immediate, like you recognize this individual, can assist you, and you will. As soon as you lay eyes on them, learn about them, meet them, you start to feel relief. Just the way that water tempers down that fire, it will help to extinguish the burn over here. Okay, so this is interesting. We have March right here with the Two of Swords, and it also makes me want to take a peek at April as well. We both have twos. I feel like the energy of this and this are absolutely related, and again with that two we have this duality, this balance that's happening. So I'm just going to bring these both up right now. Look at the cat giving an offering of a fish over here. Okay. Yeah, there's equality here, there's balance, there's yin and yang, and I do feel this is related to the situation that's happening over here for a lot of you. For some of you, maybe not. So the Two of Swords in March is just telling us that you have some choices to make, and this could be in relationship to the Ten of Wands situation over here. Perhaps something came about as a result of the meeting with the King of Cups here in February, and now you are being presented with multiple choices. For some of you, you may continue down this path. You may continue trudging up that hill, that mountainside on your own, ultimately getting the job done, not switching things up, or you might decide to go forward with the assistance or transition that this card is representing here. Do I stay? Do I go? For some of you, this might involve a choice of relocating for a job or, you know, for this King of Cups connection. Perhaps some of you are invited to level up almost is what I'm seeing. So it's almost as though you are in one job position in a certain place, and then you receive an offer that is somewhere else, and then you're also moving up. You aren't making this choice actually blindfolded as they are. That's a typical depiction with the Two of Swords. When we see that, that means you're tuning into your intuition to make your choice. You're using your mental energies. You are moving through the options in your mind before deciding what is going to be your best fit. And I do feel that the energy presented in this pile overall suggests that, yes, some of you will choose to move on. You're going to take this person up on this offer. Others may not, but it's about whatever is going to be serving you the best. To me, February feels like the time we're getting acquainted with the King of Cups, we're getting acquainted with all sides of the situation, and for some of you, it is a continuation of January energies, while March is then now weighing the options and making that decision. So group 4, I would be really curious to hear about what your decisions were regarding this particular situation. That's, of course, if you're willing to post about them in the comment box below, but I'd love to hear more about that. All right, April then is showing this partnership. It's you here, this person here. We made the choice to go forward, and we're together. Oh, look, and our kitties are meeting each other, and they're sharing a fish, because that's what kitties do. No, they don't. Okay, so for some of you, this April partnership is a continuation of the energy that we just talked about. The person coming in to help mentor you, assist with a situation that you are dealing with. And then again, March was that decision. And then April is the transition that we have here. Again, some of you may have moved and you're getting settled in, but of course that is not for everybody. Not everybody transitioned that way. You could still be moving to a new job and be working remotely from the same place that you were in before. And this doesn't necessarily just indicate career. As we said before, it can mean any facet of life where you are struggling a little bit and, looking for that guidance. This card doesn't necessarily connotate romance in every context, but it can be for some of you. Again, we talked about how maybe like 25% of you, there might be some romance thing going on, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily going forward in everything. It might be the King of Cups person, but then independently, this could also indicate that you meet somebody else as a result of your interactions, your new choices, the new place that you're sitting in. The sun, I assume, is setting here, and maybe it's rising, maybe they're drinking wine in the morning, I don't know. And this is almost, you're glowing now. You have this radiance about you. And so that could attract any type of person. It might be somebody you actually already know. And it's bringing them in. Yeah, if this is a romance, you're in the right mindset at this juncture versus here to be a better partner. Because you've made some choices for yourself. You're feeling good. You have the help that you need. You're receptive. You're open. You're no longer carrying that 10 of Wands with you, everybody else's stuff, their burdens. The toast happening here too can also just be good friends, toasting to their friendship. And if it is a new friend, they're going to be a very good one, group 4. Somebody who's solid and dependable, who you can lean on. They probably will be intuitive or empathic themselves, much like our King of Cups, which makes me believe it will be the same person for some of you. It can also be, again, let's take the romance out of it, or partnership. It can be just somebody else you lean on. It doesn't even have to apply this kind of intimate context. It could just be that you have a good partner somewhere else, such as you really like your new doctor, or you get a new therapist, somebody that you can work with, that you can trust. It does indicate partnership and collaboration. Things working out in your favor, moving away from the 10 of Wands energy, and just a bright and happy future. Look at that sun. And talk about bright. Here we have the Knight of Wands. So we've got a lot of magic happening here. A little muscle in the arm right there. And we are ready to take on absolutely anything, including a flying dragon. Here, we're 10 of Wands. Now we've suddenly jumped up into the Court card. So you've definitely leveled up at this point because of your choices and what's been happening around you. So super fiery energy coming into May. Instead of all this overwhelm that you had happening in January, you've leveled up. You're ready to take on just about anything. You're feeling empowered. Could be from your new position or partnership or collaboration. And really at this point, there's nothing that's going to be getting in your way. You feel like you're really in control of the situation, although this is pretty fast moving energy, as we can see the cats clinging on here. As we would say, your bucket is full, your cup is running over, you're feeling really good. And so you're able to take that over and roll it over into other areas of your life. So this can be this new situation that we're looking at, this new experience, whatever that means to you. Yeah, emotional and physical reserves of energy are looking good for you here. Everything is so much lighter. We're flying. You have no problem taking off on your broom. And for those of you who made fitness a goal, you could actually look at it that way. You're getting lighter. June is looking really good in terms of energy reserves and seeing results for you. In fact, I think your friends and family, like this cat here, may have trouble keeping up with you. So if that's something you're working on, then good for you. So this to me is an enjoyment. It's a thrilling ride. It's fast moving momentum. It's so different than what was happening here, and it's the same suit. It's just amazing how far you've come. You're really moving places. There's none of this trudging uphill stuff. You're very magnetic this month, group 4, and people I think are definitely noticing you. This dragon's going to be turning and looking at you at any second, which can be good, but it can also be annoying because the more successful you are at something, the more visible you become. And we're going to talk about that happening a little bit later. Yeah. And I think because of this, that's where we're getting this 10 of Pentacles from in June. This is so amazing. So again, we went January to June, 10 of Wands, which is this big burden, and 10 of Pentacles is just contentment and happiness, fulfillment, happy family, establishment, legacy, abundance, all of the amazing things that you want. Yeah, you've successfully transformed your burden to a boon. B2B. If 2022's dominant theme for you is career, we'll just go for examples on this one, then you are in all likelihood becoming quite stable at this point. You can save up for the future. You can save up to help your friends, your family. You can invest in your home and your other assets. And if fitness is your goal this year, then you are definitely hitting your stride at this point. You have so much to be proud of. You're taking care of your body. You're making long-term changes for the positive that are going to be impacting your life in the future. If you're talking romance or family, if that's what you're focused on this year, then you've got loads of blessings coming your way. You can just see that even reflected in the art here. If you've been working towards some kind of new contract with somebody, it's going to be very lucrative. So there are basically a lot of interpretations for a lot of different things here, but all of the interpretations are going to have a very positive bend when we see this kind of abundance and wealth around us. So I'm sure there are so many examples out there that I'm not thinking of, but bottom line, the 10 of Pentacles is just about having it all, everything around us. We need to be happy and having it at our fingertips and just knowing I did that. I made that happen. You know, you're feeling good about it, but you've also had this help around you. You've made supports. You've attracted people to you, and you've allowed people in. For those of you that maybe have some walls up, you let that down a little bit. Let those walls down, let people in. There's a lot of beauty there. Okay, so let's take a look at July. Yeah, happy, joyful, content, blessed. It's a really, really good month right here back in June. Very much so. Okay, so July is our Ace of Swords. Oh, that's a cute kitty. This is interesting. It looks like now we're on top of the mountain that we were maybe trying to climb up before. We hit the summit. Sword in the air. It reminds me of Highlander. There can only be one. All right, and all those bluebirds. Almost looks like lightning, like messages coming out. So I think July, being the Ace of Swords, has you feeling really empowered about your situation and circumstances. I think you're emboldened enough to start a new adventure. Yeah, this is the mental clarity that you needed here. This is what you were seeking in January, trying to get up to the summit of the mountain. But here you found it, you've discovered it. You got there, but you only got there by making some big changes, letting people in. Here's the clear vision you needed. You just took that different path to get there. So this is a terrific time for you to dust off your boots and begin your next adventure, whatever it is. What do you want to do this year? What are you looking forward to? So maybe this is, you've kind of hit your first goal this year, and in 2022, you maybe have a second, and this is the time to start that next big thing that you're looking forward to. Yeah. This is empowerment right here. Actually, I'm looking at it, kind of reminds me of She-Ra when she's transforming, or Dora turning into She-Ra. You're motivated for your next steps. And you might even be questioning yourself, my gosh, was it such a short time ago that I was dragging myself up the side of that mountain? And now you're freer, you're more happy, and you're ready for the next challenge. Yeah, just a little bit of support here has just gone a long way for you. You have come leaps and bounds. So I think this partnership or mentorship has been incredibly helpful for you in getting to this particular point, Group 4. It's really incredible how your viewpoint of the same place has just shifted so dramatically. Good times, Group 4. August shows some results, and this could be part of your July path. This is the High Priestess. Looks like she's got her tarot cards out, her crystal ball, and it's our first major arcana card. So this is part possibly of that new July path. When I see the High Priestess, I mean, this is obviously about intuition, tapping into that mystical side of ourselves, embracing the unknown, embracing the mysteries of life. And so this could indicate growth in the sector of intuition for you. Magic too, group 4. This is about you relying more on your gut and your powers of intuition to make sound decisions from. Just having that solid operating base. I'm sort of seeing, I know that's third eye, but I'm kind of seeing your chakras and seeing you just sitting in your personal power, which I really think of more as your solar plexus and even down into your sacral chakra, that creativity that comes with all of this side of things. I do think that as you rely on your gut and you rely on your intuition, you will be able to make more sound and quick decisions that will spill over into other areas of your life as well. These messages are going to be much more clear. If we see the birds here, those could be messages or messengers coming in to speak with you. Things I think are going to be more easily seen for you, more clear for you, more audible for you. So again, this might be part of July's exploration and adventure, or it may just be the result of being on firm ground, feeling balanced, feeling good about where you are, and thus being able to tap in, because that balance and that groundedness is a huge part of being able to do that. There's that idea of as above, so below. This is you getting your spiritual body grounded into the 3D realm so that you are completely comfortable with where you are, group 4. As a result, I do think your intuition is getting a bit of an upgrade this upcoming year. And maybe it may not be so much as an upgrade, because that might already be there for you. It might just be that you are better able to perceive the subtle messages that are coming through. And for some of you it will be an upgrade. It may not be something that you've thought about a lot or tapped into a lot. I do think the birds, the messages have always been there. It's just maybe you've been a little too bogged down or too busy by other things going on to be able to tap into that side of things. Yeah, this is you being tuned into the vibrations of the universe. So your manifesting power may get a big boost too. Some of you will begin to have more prophetic or psychic dreams, and I'm getting goosebumps with that. Yeah. And my eyes being drawn to the books behind her, I didn't notice these when I was looking at that earlier. We have the sword here. That's mental power too. So you may be like a sponge at this point, just kind of soaking up all the information that you can about esoteric things, magic, mysticism, psychic phenomenon, intuition, all that good fun stuff. So because you're so clear and clean here, you want to practice using that clear channel to work on any projects that are near and dear to your heart, and pay attention to messages that you receive going forward regarding these projects. I do think your gut is going to be helping you solve some problems related to work issues, group 4, or passion projects that you have. This is a very useful, intuitive gift for you moving forward. And it really does feel like a big thing because we do have this major arcana card. So I'm pretty excited for you, group 4. This is a nice message here. Our next message is for September, and This is the Seven of Wands. It's already painting a pretty strong image here, kind of backed up to the edge of a cliff here. Pretty typical message in tarot with that. So, at least the way this deck is kind of projecting it. So anytime that we kind of experience this leveling up that we have in the last couple of months, and this could be even extending back to here in June, you're going to be tested in some way. Something is going to come up that asks you to take your new skills and then apply them. So this is where your new skills are going to be put to the test, group 4. There is a bit of a challenge here, or there's some kind of problem that you're going to come across that you need to solve. At the start of the year, you were carrying these 10 of Wands up a mountainside. The question is, how are you going to solve the problem this month? It doesn't feel nearly as heavy. Again, 7 Wands versus 10 Wands. But I feel like this is almost something to show you, sort of like passing a final exam, that you can handle this. Whatever this new venture is that you're doing, whatever you're investing your time in, this is something that you can handle, and it's not going to be outside a realm of your control. This is not an impossibility. This is something that you can handle. You can persevere through it. So you may have something to show, something to demonstrate, something to prove to other people, and not in a forceful way necessarily, although it kind of depicts having to use force perhaps. It's almost like you showing off a particular skill, demonstrating a way to solve a problem, a puzzle, going to bat or defending a particular course of action for something. And again, your new growth and your glow up is just probably, in all likelihood, attracted other people's gaze. Their eyes are on you. People want some of that for themselves. Or others just, they want to work with you, and you might feel like you have to beat them off with a stick. Just to get a little time, to get some of your peace back, kind of, hey, you're in my spot here. And get some quiet for yourself. So this is a calling just to use your logic, to use your intuition here to help you through this particular challenge, group 4. And you really do have what it takes. You do. Okay. So October brings us to the 4 of Pentacles. And I do feel like a lot of this is connected to last month's energy. So the challenges here might have left you a little bit tired, group 4, and you want to retreat a little bit this month to guard your newfound position and knowledge. I definitely think you've amassed some treasure here. You have grown. You've got something to show for what's going on here. And you want to protect that from outside sources, especially from those who have less than honest intent, because no matter where you are in life, no matter what you're doing, you are going to run into individuals like that. And your guides want you to know it is perfectly fine to take a break here and there so that you don't have to defend yourself or your actions to every single person out there. You really don't. Yes, with more knowledge and power comes more visibility, again. And then you have more folks who may enjoy taking you down a peg. There are people out there who are like that. But those folks are likely operating out of fear themselves, or they would be having a celebration with you. They'd be excited for you. Yeah, they wouldn't be dramatic about the situation. They wouldn't be an energy suck. They wouldn't be soaking up your limelight or trying to drag you down. There are some folks that you can simply ignore. Just don't get sucked into their drama. Your time and energy and focus is much more important than the need to defend or prove your worth. So let some of this go. And I think that has been a very important lesson for you this year, with this 10 of Wands card just coming from the get-go. And just letting go of burdens. So let these people and their opinions go. Cut them loose. You know, you can let yourself out of this area that you've boxed yourself into. Notice all the locks on the doors here. The window's the only way out. And I think you'll find when you do cut yourself loose from that, and again, we have the swords here, you can do that. There's going to be a lot more freedom for you out there. You're going to be able to take those locks off the door and go out and explore and be yourself and not worry about what other people think. Now, November's energy is the Eight of Swords, and traditionally, this is pretty standard also. Bound wrists here. The bird on top of the sword. That's not the first time I've seen that. I don't know if that's in the original red or white. Blindfolded. That's being, we can't see the forest for the trees here. And so this could be you continuing to work on balancing the energies of others with staying present in your own energy, having that sovereignty. When we see the Eight of Swords, again, this is a feeling of being trapped, unable to move forward, or uncertain about the future. So remember how you were working on your intuition, right? Back here. You want to tap back into that when you're in this particular situation. You don't need to rely on your eyes, what's around you necessarily. Tap back into what's going on. Remember that you have support here, and go back to that. Asking for help from other people, people that care about you. This almost feels like you've integrated this energy here, the Seven of Wands energy, and you're kind of sitting with it still, like this is still happening, these people are still coming at me, and that kind of, I'm going to lock myself away, erect these big walls around myself, and we're taking these two energies and we're still kind of sitting with it. You're getting sucked back into these old habits that we had here of just overwhelm. We're taking everything on, we got to do this all ourselves. But there isn't a need to go there, your guides are saying. You're the one with the power to take that blindfold off. And actually, this little bird here looks like a bluebird, which we see over here flying freely. Their messages are important. This is where you can get information from to help you. Help is closer than you think. You are more free than you think. It's a matter of perspective. If you were to take that blindfold off, you'd have the same perspective as that little bird who's perched next to you on the sword's hilt right here. You can navigate this situation easily, Group 4. It isn't nearly as difficult as what you were concerning yourself with here back in January. This is mental. This actually felt a lot more physical, heavier. This again is mental energy. It's something that you need to shift so that you can see the big picture clearly. We finally made it to the mountaintop here. This is the view you want to be working from. This is where you need to be. It's within your power to get yourself there. You've already been there. And once you're up there, things are going to be much more easy to see, easy to manage, and navigating out of your troubles is going to be a snap for you. And so it's just remembering, tap into the messages, tap into the help, get some clarity, take that blindfold off, because you, in all likelihood, are the one that is actually putting it on yourself. Now, December, quite happily, is the Nine of Cups. It's a great energy. Oh, background sound effects brought to you by my cat, Mike's brother. Thank you, buddy. He's on a scratching post there. Cute. All right, so looking pretty chill there. Nine of Cups, excellent. So December's bringing you some clarity, and it might be a trip to the beach for some of you. The Nine of Cups is the card of emotional fulfillment, happiness, wish fulfillment. It's the ultimate card of wish fulfillment. It's as if you have completely integrated all of your lessons this year, and you've said yes to the folks that matter, the people that have been there to assist, and you've reflected on the energies at play in your life. You've pulled yourself out of old habitual patterns to arrive at a clear and blissful and a happy station. So, hey, congratulations, group 4. December 2022 for you looks amazing. Now, this actually may indicate a period of travel, a little time out for some of you, but it can also just be that I'm arrived. I have arrived where I want to be. You are where you would like to be. You have everything around you you were looking for. You have a feeling of success, of happiness in your achievement, satisfaction, total acceptance of yourself, which is huge, and the wonderful things that you've accomplished this year. All of these fantastic things. You have so many great things to look back over, group 4. And the beach looks mighty nice too. So that's what you have for, and that's me knocking things down. The book just fell on the floor. That is your energy in tarot for the months ahead in 2022. Keep in mind, everything's flexible with that. And there are a couple of oracle cards I'd like us to take a look at before jumping any further. Okay, so our crystal reading card is agate, which is healthy body. Okay. Now, to me, this doesn't just mean healthy body, but healthy mind as well. Much of your reading has just been about balance. Yeah. If we look over this all, just even at the cards that we have here, we've got, let's see here, 10 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. So that we've got 3 wand cards. We've got cups here, and cups here. 3 cup cards. Swords, we've got 1 sword card, 2 sword cards, 3. So 3, 3, and 3. And then we've got pentacles here and pentacles here. And then the High Priestess is on its own. So that is very, very balanced energy. That's unusual to get something like that where you're kind of evenly spread across the board. Most people's, what I want to say, their birth charts are not that balanced. So this is really, really nice looking. And we talked here, we've got the 2 twos in a row, and there's kind of this yin and yang here, this partnership coming in. And we talked a lot about as above, so below. And so to me, this idea of healthy body is also working in conjunction with having that healthy mind. Yeah, so with the distribution of the elements we have here, the number 2s, to me this just says a lot about your entire journey this year. Yeah, it's not just the healthy body, it's also the healthy mind. We also know when we consume healthier foods, it can impact our mind. Our thinking can become more clear, brain fog begins to lift, and we can create more energy in our bodies and in our systems. Our hormone levels can actually change too, and this is all part of that balance for you in 2022. And this healthy body card might be especially resonant for those of you that are actually looking to physically change yourself. Here it almost looks like, look, she's abstaining. Maybe from drinking. For some people, that might be something that some folks are giving up. And look at this. The past, moving toward the past and looking toward the future. That's very interesting. So again, we've got this balance, this yin and yang here. So your reading feels to me very steady, group 4, very clear and very strong. Like you are on solid ground. You've got solid legs. Even in your shakier moments that are here, the shakier energies, I should say, these energies still don't feel as uneven as other energies when they come through, and especially in some of the other readings earlier. So this speaks of an ability to be grounded in reality, not having your head in the clouds too much, being able to create or manifest goals for yourself, just very practical. A healthy body and a healthy mind help make you that clear channel we talked about for the divine, right? It's much easier for messages to come through as you develop your intuition, if you are taking care of yourself. Okay, let's look at your I ams. So your first I am card is, oh, I love it. I am here. It almost looks like the sun. Okay. This is perfect. This is that steadiness that I was speaking of, the groundedness in the here and now. I really think you are, group 4, a rock star in this particular energy of being present. This is where you want to manifest from. This is where success lies for you. And if you stick with this, being present, being at home, wherever you are, like a turtle or a tortoise carries their shell with them. They carry their home with them, even when you're traveling, even in tougher times. You just always have that knowledge that you belong and you're part of the world, you're a child of the world. You know your energy, you know your boundaries at this point, and this is going to help bring in blessings to you tenfold. And I really truly believe that anxiety cannot have a space when you are present like that, because that's so much about future thinking. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Beautiful. I am driven. My gosh, the first thing I'm thinking of is the solar plexus and the sacral chakra that I talked about earlier. This is that fiery energy. This is very wandish, which you've had, a good number of wand cards, and we started with that as well. So this is just really another really nice mantra for the year. Perfect for you because your determination and ambition is just clearly reflected in this wand energy from the first month in January, with you walking up the side of the mountain. So you want to hold on to this drive. But again, don't miss out on the assistance of other people because you're somebody who doesn't ask for help. Help is good. So ask when you need it. We also have, yellow again. I am happy. That's so nice. And it kind of matches the agate colors too. So beautiful energy there. I think this is you so satisfied over the months. If we just look at some of the happy months here, the pairing that happens in April, the happy card that's happening here, and jumping back even May's fiery determinism right there. This is, again, just like satisfaction. July, having adventures. August, we're exploring new things. And then we have this wish fulfillment at the end. So just big themes here for you. And then also there's so much happiness in little moments in between as well that's connecting everything. And you were the only crew that I had here that got a 4th card. And I am success is what's popping out. So, I mean, we even have some of the same colors here, the blue and the yellow. With the blue sky and then the gold cups back there. So I really do think that no matter what's going on, whatever your story is here, you are going to be successful this year, group 4. So keep balanced, enjoy your journey, and maybe grab yourself an agate if you don't have one to help maintain that goal. Group 4, I'm going to end your reading here, so let me know one of your resolutions in the comment box below, or anything about your journey that you'd like to share. And if you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and check out my other videos. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss when new videos are published. Have a wonderful year, group 4. May you be blessed and be a blessing to others. I look forward to collaborating again with you in the future. Bye, group 4.